This shit more than a game.
Perfect.
Another NFL season is gone in the books. Hopefully you all cherish and appreciated it, because nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. You might as well love every football season that you are here on planet Earth to witness. So I want to give a toast to the 2025-2026 NFL season, a season where the underdog became champion, a season where a quarterback who nobody believed in led his team all the way to the Super Bowl. A season where people who threw mud on your name disrespected you and said that you are unworthy were proven wrong and proven idiots like me. A season where teams came from out of nowhere. A season where great teams went back down to the pits. You gotta love football. Never a shortage of storylines. Never a shortage to make you feel something, make you believe something, make you realize that this shit more than a game. Here's to the 2025-2026 NFL season. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jono Barnes Show, the finale of the 2025-2026 season. But it's shit more than a game.
From the stands, I'm invested. Every loss hurt like a lesson, we tested. Front porch talk turn to Sunday confessions. From dome to the block, it's all one connection. From Eric to Drew, Alvin to Cam, talk down on my squad. Boy, I be damned. I rap for the ones that never got fame, still yelling loud. This shit more than a game. Cause y'all know why? This shit more than a game. It ain't no lie. This shit more than a game. You know that's right. This shit more than a game. And y'all know why? This shit more than a game. Now I got Lil Jono sitting on my knee, teaching them young what it mean to believe. This bigger than scores, it's what we became. He gon' know off top, this shit more than a game. Clarissa in the back giving me all types of stress, but deep down she know the husband the best. She knows he's crazy, she know he's mean, but she know the kid 100% New Orleans. And y'all know why, this shit more than a game. It ain't no lie, this shit more than a game. You know that's right, this shit more than a game. And y'all know why, this shit more than a game. Yeah. When you see Jono scream, this shit more than a game. And when you see a Falcons fan, just call out for Jonathan. And yeah, this shit more than a game. New Orleans know this shit more than a game. Louisiana know this shit more than a game. Texas know this shit more than a game. Whole world know this shit more than a game. Y'all know why?
This shit more than a game. And y'all know, I mean, come on now, it's the end of the season. Y'all know how we start off every edition of the Jono Barnes Show. Leave for the final time of the 2025-2026 season. This shit more than a game in the chat right now. And also do me one other favor. I want everybody to stop before you even put in this shit more than a game in the chat. Do me one favor. If y'all watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on your mobile or whether you're watching on your laptop, just scroll on over to that little thumbs up button and click it. Just click that little thumbs up button and get these likes up right away, okay? So I know sometimes we get busy. We get into the aurora of the Jono Barnes Show and we've missed. Oh, sure, I forgot to hit the like button. So do me a favor right now. Everybody just hit that like button right now. And then leave this shit more than the game in the chat right now. We are finishing this season off on a strong note already because good Lord have mercy. The Know the Chop podcast leaves a $10 super chat and he says the Jono Barnes Show is the truth. I love Tuesday nights because of the Jono Barnes Show. This shit more than the game. And no, we are not done. The king of the super chats, Bruce saying he's a super chat. And he says this shuck is more than a Tuesday. And we already know next Tuesday, this shit is going to be more than a Tuesday because it's going to be Mardi Gras time, baby. Y'all see the countdown already. Y'all see the countdown right there. 6 more days, 4 more hours, and 36 more minutes, and it's going down in New Orleans, Louisiana. One thing about New Orleans that 31 other fan bases can't say is that no matter how the season ends, we are guaranteed parades in February because we got Mardi Gras, and this shit is more than a Tuesday. Y'all got me. Oh, Lord have mercy. The fish reminds me of her. Leaves a $5. And he says he's off the Henry. He is ready come and watch the Jono Barnes Show. What up? The fish reminds me of her. Thinking that Henry reminds me of her as well. I appreciate every single one of you guys helping me in this 2025-2026 season on the right note. You guys are amazing. You guys showed up more than my co-hosts. You guys showed up more than the Ziggies, the shows on the average. You know, every time they came on the show, they would be like, I'm going to be on next week, Jono. I'm going to recap the NFC Championship game. I'm going to recap the Super Bowl. I'm going to preview the Super Bowl. Nowhere to be found. But guess who's always here to be found? Every single week, I see the Sandras. I see the Bruce Saints. I see the Jerry G's. I see the Know the Child podcast. I see the Mikeys. I see the Sonias. I see all of you guys. I start saying names, and I'm going to feel bad. I'm like, damn, I forgot Dana. I forgot this person and that person. I see all of you guys. I see all of you guys. Jeremiah, fish reminds me of you keep having. I see all of you guys, and I hope you guys know from the bottom of my heart. Y'all know I always get sentimental, like when we about to, go on a nice little mini vacation after this episode. I appreciate every single one of you guys. You too, Cody Dollison. I don't know if this is your first time watching the Jono Barnes Show. Hopefully it is. If it is, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, Cody. We have a good time here on the Jono Barnes Show. We always welcome more guests to the party. Like my guy Jerry G says, we ride together. We die together. This shit more than a game for life. Y'all, even though the Saints have not played a game in about a whole full calendar month, there's a lot to talk about tonight. We have a lot to talk about. So, man, let's get right into it. And again, to Bruce Saints, the Know the Child podcast, and the fish reminds me of her. Thank you guys so much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try. Hopefully this thing up there. Sometimes it'd be glitching. But Bruce Saints, you wasn't on the show last week. I know you were doing trivia where you be kicking ass on those Tuesdays. I'm doing a new day now. If anybody leaves a $5 or higher super chat, I will put their name on the This Shit More Than a Scoreboard. The Know the Child podcast saw it last week. I will put your name on the This Shit More Than a Scoreboard. So now, not only did you get that awesome This Shit More Than a Thanks graphic that everybody loves and desires to be on, like the Know the Child podcast and my guy Easy E were on last week. Shout out to them. This shit more than a thanks. But now you leave a $5 or higher super chat. Right after these nice NBA scores and all these betting odds, you can be on the This Shit More Than a Scoreboard. So to all of you guys, including the queen of the This Shit More Than a Game community, with all due apologies to my lovely wife, Clarissa, and of course, the This Shit More Than a my mama. She leaves a $5 super chat. And she says, yes, sir, I love this community. This is so much more than a game. I'm going to, at a commercial break, guys, get you guys' name on that scoreboard. Now, listen, sometimes the scoreboard takes like 3 hours to update, so hopefully it does update with y'all names. But even if it doesn't, if by tonight it doesn't wind up showing up, the next episode, even if that might be in middle of March, you guys will see your name on this scoreboard because you guys are this shit more than a game certified. I appreciate you all. Damn, y'all got me in a good mood. It must have been payday this weekend, huh? Good Lord, y'all throwing the dollars at me, huh? Y'all throwing the dollars at me like I'm in Magic City right now. Sheesh Louise. I know something. Magic City would have been a whole lot more entertaining than that Super Bowl we had. You know what? No, it was Super Bowl 60. It was a fine game. The Seattle Seahawks, you guys. The Seattle Seahawks are your Super Bowl 60 champions. Congratulations. Well, let's give a round of applause. Where's the applause button that? Let's give a round of applause. Let's give a round of applause to the Seattle Seahawks for winning the Super Bowl this past Sunday. Look, man, I'll tell you guys what, as down bad as it's been as far as, that's my bad, for being a Saints fan. If you guys are watching me on mobile, by the way, I don't know why for mobile they have me doing it horizontally when the point of me doing vertical, mobile is to do vertical, but either way, hopefully you guys get a good picture. Thanks for everybody who's watching me on mobile. But also, if you are watching me on mobile, you look in the chat comment, the pinned comment is the mainstream link. So if you want to watch the actual full horizontal version of the show, hit that link. If you're watching a mobile version, you will actually get the full Jono Barnes Show experience. We just do the mobile version now just to try to see if we can grow the audience a little bit for people who are watching on their cell phones. They might have a better viewing of the Jono Barnes Show via the mobile version. But I'm looking at the mobile version right now, and I'm like, why they have me horizontal when they should have me vertical? Either way, just want to give you guys that bit of housekeeping items. The Seahawks beat the New England Patriots, and I've been doing this show, as Bruce Saint can attest to, for 5 seasons now. We just ended off my 5th season as a content creator. And I will say this, as down bad as how New Orleans Saints have been in those 5 seasons that I've been doing content, I can at least say after every Super Bowl, y'all, I didn't come on here and have to say, congratulations to the Atlanta Falcons for winning the Super Bowl. I didn't have to come on here and say, well, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or Carolina Panthers for winning the Super Bowl. I damn sure had to come on here and say, congratulations to that team in Dallas for winning the Super Bowl. No, it's always a team that we don't have much beef or skin in the game with, right? You know, the Chiefs or the Eagles or the Seahawks. It's like, you know, it's not our first choice to win a Super Bowl if it ain't the Saints, but it damn sure ain't our last choice either. And it's definitely with the Shaheed factor this past season. Congratulations to Shaheed. What? From the outhouse to the penthouse, right? That man went from the down bottom trying New Orleans Saints to being the Super Bowl champion. Shout out to you, Shaheed. This sheet is more than a game. And man, that Seahawks, they looked real good Sunday. They were clearly the best team in the NFL all season long. They proved that this past Sunday. That game never felt like it was in any type of dramatics whatsoever. Their defense is ferocious. Their offense, they would have had to do to just keep the game afloat so that they didn't give the Patriots any type of momentum or whatnot. And look, man, this ain't Locked On Seahawks or Locked On NFL. This ain't no X's and O's channel. This ain't no, serious analysis channel. Man, that game was ass. That game was ass. I'm sorry for the language, but help me out, y'all. If y'all agree with me, just put the word ass in the chat, because good Lord have mercy, y'all. In my 37 years being blessed to be on this planet, that had to be a top 5 boring Super Bowl of all time. Now, again, credit to the Seattle Seahawks. Congratulations to their fan base. I got mad love for them. Again, I went to the Seattle Seahawks Stadium in 2019. Their fan base showed me and my wife mad love. We did the Seahawks reaction video this season. It was actually one of my most popular reaction videos because the 12s came in and they were showing mad love in the comments. I got mad love for the Seahawks fan base. I got mad love, of course, for Shaheed. But good Lord have mercy, that game was ass, man. Now, the Seattle's fans don't care, and they shouldn't. Because Lord knows if the New Orleans Saints ever won a Super Bowl where we just dominated the game beginning to end, and it even wasn't an exciting domination. Like if we were just like, okay, all we got to do is run the ball, don't turn the ball over, and kick a few field goals and just let the defense do their thing, I would have, I don't give a damn about the other 49 states. My team won the Super Bowl. So I'm not trying to wag my finger at the Seattle Seahawks or make them fans try to feel like I'm criticizing their team or they should feel bad. No, nobody should feel bad when their team is the champions. I'm just saying, this is not Seattle. We are a very New Orleans and Louisiana-based show. That game was boring as hell. That game was ass. I can appreciate. I'm a football savant, man. I love the game of football. I love the game of football. College and professional. But damn, man, I was hoping for some type of dramatics. Man, my wife threw it down in the kitchen for me this Sunday, man. I had the football fans' dream platter of food. And I'm eating the food, and I'm like, God damn, this game is boring. Is there any type of drama we're going to get? I mean, even in games that are usually blowouts in the Super Bowl, we remember, I hope you guys remember, I'm showing my age, I guess, that Ravens and Giants Super Bowl in 2000 where the Ravens has whooped the Giants' ass. At least they had the back-to-back kickoff return touchdowns, right? You had that one moment of oh, wow. But now, I know the Patriots kind of scored late in the fourth quarter that made you go, hey, maybe if they get a bounce here or there. That game was ass, man. That game was ass. But I can at least appreciate how great the Seahawks were this season from start to finish. We saw it firsthand, Saints fans. They were one of the 2 teams this year that whooped our ass. I mean, from start to finish, they were one of the teams that made us go, good Lord have mercy, is this going to be a long season? And it actually was not a long season because the Saints actually were a lot better than we thought it was. It would just prove that the Seattle Seahawks were on a whole nother level than a lot of teams this season. So congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks, but good Lord have mercy, that game was ass. What is not ass is a super chat that we are getting. Another one from the fish reminds me of her. It's who that? I don't like the Falcons and the Cowgirls. And my ex, the one that reminds him of her, she smells like a brick oven cooked wild card fundalist Okay, nice. See, using too many big words on me. Okay, using too many big words on me because I don't know how to pronounce them. Fish reminds me of her. I'm gonna take them as a sign of disrespect. I'm joking. You know, if you watch the 40-year-old virgin movie, you know where I got that classic line from. All right, oven, wild caught, fundulous, heteroclitus fish from the Atlantic. I'm gonna Google this after the show, y'all. From the Atlantic coast, an albino marmalade catfish, nibblers, who getting Shough. I'm assuming he meant to push. He on a Henny, y'all. He told us before the show that he was on a Henny. Hey, you send me $20 super chat. Reminds me of her. You can speak all the gibberish you want in the super chat. I appreciate you. Fish reminds me of her. Hopefully you ain't passed out drunk by the time your name comes on to this shit more than the scoreboard. But let me know what you guys think about that Super Bowl. How did you guys spend Super Bowl Sunday? Obviously, it was not the most exciting game, but it is football. So I guess we at least should have cherished that. Hey, this is our final 4 or 5+ hours of getting to enjoy football before we have a long offseason ahead of us. Brute Saint says the Pats had the easiest playoffs run of all time. It's like when a 5'5" buddy fights a trio of 5-foot boys. Then in the end, the 6'5" Tyrone buries him. Man, everybody is so tough on the Patriots schedule. And it makes me wonder, like, if the Saints have a good season next year, y'all know we have a last place schedule ourselves coming up in 2026. So are people going to be caught in tied of Shough the schedule, the way they are calling Drake May right now, the schedule, by kind of insulting him and saying that the only reason he had a good season, that the Patriots were good, was because of the schedule? If they do, I don't give a shit. I mean, we already see these opposing fans trying to discredit Tyler Shough right now and say, oh, you know, he only did good against the Jets and the Panthers and, you know, the Bucks. And of course he had a good stats. So you playing these bottom feeder teams. And y'all know what our argument was, right? Like, well, shit, then y'all think we was a bottom feeder team? So what are y'all talking about? But Brute saying, I would say you can only play the teams on your schedule. And I will get the Patriots this. Their playoff run was not as easy as I think is going to be hyped up in revisionist history, if you want to call it, going to make it seem. I mean, that Texans defense we saw was legit. It was legit. I know CJ Stroud played like shit, but that Texans defense was legit. I know they got lucky that Bo Nix went out before the AFC Championship game. Sometimes you need luck to go to a Super Bowl. We saw that firsthand in 2009 with the New Orleans Saints. And the Chargers, no, the Chargers aren't this great team. Yes, Justin Herbert has a lot to prove going forward, but I mean, it's not like they were playing like these bottom feeder teams in the AFC in their playoff path to the Super Bowl. Like, they were playing some pretty good defenses. So I'm not going to discredit them too much, but a last place schedule does help. And that's what the NFL wants, though. The NFL promotes parity by giving the bad teams like the Patriots were in 2024 a bad schedule in 2025 so that they can jump ahead of the curve, and that these fan bases, these downtrodden fan bases, and I'm not calling the Patriots a downtrodden fan base because Lord knows them boys should have made 20 years without the playoffs before they got back to the playoffs, given how much success they had in the past. But the NFL wants these bad teams to be good. Hence why they give the last place schedules to the teams that finish at the bottom of the division. Hopefully, the Saints are beneficiaries of a last place schedule next season. Jerry G says he was, give me 1 second. Switch to this. My mouse on this computer likes to do this a lot. It likes to just freeze on me. But I always have a backup plan. I learned from my past mistakes. All right, Jerry says, Jerry, it might be a little too late for me to get that email. I apologize. But he also said, I just saw your comment, Jerry. Where is it? All right, I'm going to get to your comment later on. Jeremiah says, it was great to watch the Super Bowl do Jono Barnes. I didn't do a reaction video, but if you were watching it via my Twitter, then I appreciate you, Jeremiah. Bad Bunny is fire with the Puerto Rican style on the stage. It is a real historic Super Bowl performance. Oh, we are going to definitely get to Bad Bunny in a little bit, because I always tell you guys, the real action is on my Twitter. So if you guys didn't follow me on Twitter, I mean, I've shown you guys some of my viral tweets before. I had my most viral tweet ever, and it's still going right now. Actually, let me show you right quick. I guarantee you, if I put up my Twitter app, look, I ain't even got to put it up. Y'all see, I got 20 notifications. Whenever you get more than 21 notifications, Twitter just pauses at 20. It means that you're just getting too many damn notifications. This has been my phone for the past 48 hours. Non-stop notifications. I'll let you guys know why I cause such a stir on social media in a little bit. Fish reminds me of Hard. Say, who wants to take a shot every time? Fish reminds me of Hard trying to get y'all plastered tonight. I ain't mad. It's the last show of the season. Fish reminds me of Hard. Drink up. Be merry. Get your Mardi Gras started early. The Know the Child podcast says, I was expecting a shootout, but it was a defensive game. I think a lot of people were actually expecting a defensive game. Know the Child podcast. So I'm surprised that you are expecting a shootout, because most of the analysts and the fans that I saw were all predicting that this is going to be a defensive struggle of a game. And I don't even know if it was a defensive struggle of a game. It was just a boring game, in my opinion. Let's get to some more comments. Sandra says it was not very entertaining. She didn't even make it to halftime. Well, Sandra, did you at least watch the halftime show? Because I thought it was a very good halftime show, at least. The Ish Galaxy says the commercials were, I don't even think the commercials were good. The Ish Galaxy, like, I don't want to be one of those, back in my day. I'm getting to that age where I'm about to start being like one of those back in my day type people. But man, I remember when the Super Bowl commercials were must see, and every single commercial was banger after banger after banger. You might be lucky to find like 3 or 4 Super Bowl commercials the past few years where you actually literally laughed out loud. Like, even and there's 2 things I tweeted this on Sunday, that social media and the smartphone has kind of hurt the Super Bowl with. One is the commercials, because we all know that these companies put out the commercials even before the game now. I don't know what the marketing strategy behind that is, but like some of the commercials are out a full week before they debuted on Sunday. So I had already seen like half of the commercials already because they dropped them on their social media platforms. And 2, have y'all ever noticed that, remember when one of the most greatest things about being in the Super Bowl was that opening kickoff, right? When you kick the opening kickoff and all of the crowd would flash their lights, with their cameras. And that was like the greatest visual of all time, that, we're in the Super Bowl. Like, wow, they get all these flashes. You don't get that anymore. Why? Because if anybody even is filming it, they're filming it on their phone and they ain't got their flash on. So the smartphone kind of ruined that. I'm like, I missed that. But it made me cherish that at least the Saints made it to the Super Bowl right before the smartphone takeover. The smartphones was out in 2009, but they weren't as, I guess, prevalent as they are now, where the disposable camera was still a thing. That if you watch the 2009 Saints Super Bowl recap, I'm sure we all have watched the Saints Super Bowl 2009 game many, many times. You still see that opening kickoff with all the flashes. We don't get that anymore, man. I missed that. I absolutely missed that. But hey, the times, as they say, they are a-changing. Slim South says they were praising Drake May a little too much. The Patriots offensive line got destroyed. Yeah, I was ready to kind of crown Drake May as a top-tier quarterback before this postseason. Even if you would have told me the Patriots are going to get to the Super Bowl, I would have said, yeah, what that means for sure, there's going to be no doubt that Drake May is considered, in that Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen tier come the 2026 season. I can argue now that even though they actually made the Super Bowl, Drake May's stock took a hit with the postseason run than before the postseason run. That's crazy, right? Like, he was an MVP candidate before the postseason run. And now I think the majority, as Bruce Saint even alluded to in his comment, are going to be criticizing Drake May now after this postseason run and saying, oh, he only had a great season because of the schedule. Or the narratives, what I told y'all about the narratives 2 weeks ago. Sean Payne in the first quarter of the AFC Championship game could have started having fitted for a gold jacket. By the fourth quarter, it was like, Sean Payne's a choker. He's never going to be a Super Bowl coach again. He should be happy that he got Drew Brees again one. The narratives, boy, they change fast. Bruce Saint says the defense for the Seattle Seahawks is going to be a problem. They are. I want to let y'all know one thing. I mean, I'm sure everybody's probably going to be like, oh, man, Seattle, they were 1 year wonder with Drake May. No, we ain't worrying about, man. Seattle got a young team, y'all. I know they don't have a sexy team. I know they don't have a team for the superstars yet, but they got a team that's going to probably be a problem in the NFC for a while. So even though we are optimistic as Saints fans, and Lord knows I don't think anybody's actually thinking about Super Bowl yet for Tyler Shough and the New Orleans Saints, Seattle going to have a lot to say for the next 2 or 3 years, because that defense, man, that defense got some problem childs on it, and hopefully they age very fast so that when the Saints are ready to contend for a Super Bowl, we ain't got to worry about Seattle. My wife Clarissa, shout out to her for holding it down this season for us to be able to do. Yeah, also, now y'all know what? Do me a favor, y'all. If y'all got the emojis, leave the clap emoji for Clarissa in the chat, because I am happy to say that this season I had absolutely no business being able to do this show every Tuesday night for the full season, from preseason all the way till post-Super Bowl Sunday. I had absolutely no reason whatsoever to be able to do this show every Tuesday night without missing a week, especially with a newborn who is now a toddler who is going through some serious sleep regression. The reason why I was not able to miss a single Tuesday this season is because of that woman right there. So like my guy, Bruce Saint, gives it a clap right now. Please, y'all, follow the lead of Bruce Saint in the Know the Child podcast. She held it down. She is the unheralded MVP. I say that a lot. Sometimes I might go on deaf ears with y'all, but y'all truly do not know how much she does to help me out and do this hobby of mine. This show ain't paying my bills. This show damn sure ain't paying my bills. Even though them super chats definitely might help today, but them show ain't paying my bills. This is basically a passion hobby of mine. She allows me to do it, and this was probably the toughest season to even try to attempt to go live every Tuesday night. on the same night. Like, there wasn't even a night where I had to say, okay, y'all, I got to do it on Wednesday or Thursday, which I thought for sure in September, I was like, there's going to be some weeks where I'm going to have to like, hey, y'all, I'm going to have to do the show on Friday. You know, Lil Jono's just, he on one right now. I got to, you know, she held it down. She said, nope, keep it consistent. Do it Tuesday night. She is the true MVP. I appreciate you guys showing her love because she really, really helped make this streak that we did of every Tuesday night a possibility. I don't know if she's even watching it, but she's probably giving Lil Jono a bad. Again, she's doing her mama duty while daddy gets to come and yell at the microphone in front of y'all. Shout out to her, man. I'll clip this for her and show her tomorrow when she wakes up. Let's get to maybe one more comment about the Super Bowl. Everybody's saying, of course, we're very happy for Shaheed. That man is beloved in New Orleans, man. That man is absolutely beloved in New Orleans. And Journey's a good point. Let's end up on this one. He says, shout out to Seahawks linebacker Derek from Gulfport, Mississippi. I love that. I love seeing people in our region who are successful, man. Y'all know my friend Devin, who was an equipment manager for the New England Patriots, which is why I was cheering for the Patriots. You know, I was a little sad for him, but I'm glad that, hey, if he couldn't get a ring, at least people like Rashid Shaheed and Derek Carr can get a ring. So, man, wasn't the most exciting game? It's going to be a game that 10 years from now, guys, it's going to be a game that 10 years from now. See, y'all, by the way, I'm sorry. This damn scoreboard, you see, it's for whatever reason, it's crashing now. I want to put y'all names on the scoreboard, but now it's going just showing my MAC address to the whole world. I don't know what's going on with my scoreboard lady, but if I cannot get y'all names on the scoreboard tonight, I promise y'all the next episode I will have y'all names on the scoreboard. That's going to be a cool thing that I'm trying to do with my scoreboard, but it's been real glitchy lately. I don't know. I'm blaming the Falcons fan. He must have programmed this goddamn scoreboard. This Super Bowl is not going to be a Super Bowl that is really remembered 5 years from now, except to Seahawks fans. What the Super Bowl is going to be remembered for, even more so than the game, it's the halftime show. Because Bad Bunny put on, hey, look, the scoreboard hurt me. He said, okay, I'm sorry, Jono. Let me get my shit together. The Super Bowl halftime show, for whatever reason, had a lot of fallout. And I'm going to give you guys a forewarning right now. We're about to get a little bit political with this conversation, okay? I don't often go political on my platforms. Not that I purposely avoid it. I just don't feel like, given the niche that I've built, my content is meant to be, you know, a political platform. But I'm not afraid to speak truth to power. And, you know, it's like my dad always said. He always said, hey, the impact makers are never afraid to rattle a few cages. And your boy definitely rattled a few cages this past Sunday because it was one of those kind of perfect timing things where politics kind of aligned with the sports world when it really shouldn't have, when it really should not have. So just know this. I know not everybody might be very like-minded when it comes to politics. As strongly as I might feel about some things when it comes to politics, I at least am very respectful and I'm pretty laid back when it comes to political discussions. So I do want to talk about it because, look, the halftime show fallout is probably going to be the biggest storyline that comes from the Super Bowl when history is all said and done. I was very, very confused at how polarizing this halftime show was to a lot of people, and I just don't understand it. I thought the halftime show was great. I'm going to be blunt. I mean, there's some bad Latino chicks shaking ass. I was like, this is awesome. This is awesome. I love this. I mean, come on, man. When I saw Jessica Alba, I went into tunnel vision. I was like, God dang, she's still bad at 40 years old. I'm like, come on, man. Who can hate this? Who can hate this? Not only that, jokes aside, jokes. I mean, the message was great. It was a message of love and unity. Like, he didn't do anything that any party should feel like, oh, man, that was horrible. This doesn't represent the United States. If anything, that was one of the more patriotic goddamn Super Bowls of all time, halftime shows. So here's what I tweeted. That definitely rattled a few cages. I tweeted, no, seriously, what did Bad Bunny do for people to be mad at? He had fine women. He had a male and female, straight, heterosexual wedding. He had the United States flag lead the way. He had a lot of country flags represented during his halftime show. You know which one was front and center? The United States flag. At the end of his show, he even said, God bless America. And it ended with the message of love will always overpower hate. So this is where things get a little, this is why I rattled a few cages. I say, if people are still pretending to be mad at it, I am sorry, but you might be racist. I mean that with my whole heart, mind, body, and soul. If you had any type of problem with that show, you might just be racist. Now, got a few people saying, oh man, so I'm not allowed to not have an artist that I just don't have any type of liking for? Not at all. You see, if that tweet didn't bother you, I mean, if that tweet wasn't relevant to you, you would have just minded your business, right? There's a lot of Super Bowl halftime shows of artists that I have no passion or, I'm not a fan of. The nothing against them, like the Katy Perry's, the Lady Gaga's. I don't have many Katy Perry or Lady Gaga songs in my phone, but am I like, oh man, we got to have an alternative Super Bowl halftime show for this? I don't want to watch that. No, if I don't like it, I don't like it. Hey, it's not for me. Not everything for everybody is going to be for everybody. I'm not so, if you just aren't a Bad Bunny fan, and that tweet and that mindset that I have about this shouldn't bother you. It shouldn't be no sweat off your back. I'm not a Bad Bunny fan, y'all. I have zero. Let me show you right now. Let me look. This is my my phone. Okay, this is my library. I'm on my library. This is my library. Okay, let me put Bad Bunny. B-E-A-D. No results. I am not a Bad Bunny fan at all whatsoever. I am not a Bad Bunny fan whatsoever. One thing I'm not is I'm not a racist. I mean, the fact that they had to make an alternative halftime show with Carr Rock, give me a break. Give me a goddamn break. And the problem is this. They tried to disguise it under, oh, Bad Bunny doesn't represent the American values and he hates the country and blah, blah, blah. What from that halftime show? What from that halftime show was hateful to America or didn't represent America? Because everything that he had in that halftime show is absolutely everything that party claims to want a champion. Told y'all we're going to get a little political tonight. They claim to want a champion. We want heterosexual weddings only. They claim a champion. There's only two genders. They claim a champion. The United States should always lead the way when it comes to American citizens and American events. They claim the champion, love, not hate. He represented every single thing at that halftime show, and they still found a way to hate. You know why? Because they might just be a little bit racist. I'm standing 10 toes down on that. If you disagree respectfully. I'm not going to be like, F you for, no. But I'm standing 10 toes down on that. You got to give me a goddamn break. How? I just don't understand. How can politics overburden somebody so much in this day and age that they allow their whole life to be cumbersome to what their political party tells them to think? I'll straight up say it, the MAGAs. Donald Trump and all them told everybody before this halftime show even occurred. Y'all need to hate this Bad Bunny halftime show. Hell with the Bad Bunny halftime show. We need to have a American-only halftime show. They conditioned those guys to say this halftime show is going to be horrible. And then Bad Bunny went out and did one of the most American halftime shows of all time. Oh, sue him. It was in Spanish. Guys, not everything is always going to be English. Broaden your horizons a little bit. Have y'all not noticed that the NFL is trying to expand outside of the United States? Have you not noticed that we're doing all these international games? Hell, we're going to France next year, the New Orleans Saints. We're going to France next season. Have you not realized that the New Orleans and the NFL is saying, hey, we want the NBA type audience when it comes to the international audience that the NBA has, that soccer has. Have they not noticed that the NFL is like, we love being an American sport, but we definitely want to make a lot more money going outside of the United States. Hey, what can we do with how to make that even more powerful? Let's have the most popular artist in the world right now who just happens to be a Spanish singer do the halftime show. But apparently that's a bad thing to the conservatives and the Republicans and MAGA. Because Donald Trump told them, oh, we got to hate this. We got to hate this. We got to hate this. They hated it already. Even though that halftime show was absolutely everything that they claim a champion. So now they're stretching. They're finding ways. Oh, I saw two dudes dancing on each other for 2 seconds at that halftime show. This is horrible lyrics and all that. Man, they had Eminem do halftime shows. They had Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg do halftime shows. They've had rock bands do halftime shows. Every artist has controversial lyrics. This is 2026. This ain't no goddamn 1950s. Give me a break, man. Give me a goddamn break. And as y'all can see, with the over 2 million views that this tweet has got, over 7,300 retweets. And Lord have mercy, y'all. I have close to 3,000 comments. Like I told y'all, they're still going. They are still going. People are on my ass about that. The conservatives, I guess. I think it was a popular conservative account that retweeted it. And boy, have mercy, for the past 48 plus hours, they have been on my ass. Now, y'all know how I am, right? I don't lose no sweat over trolls. I don't lose no sweat over haters. I don't lose no sweat over bots. There's a lot of bots, by the way. I don't know if y'all are deep into interwebs. But if y'all don't know what a bot is, it's like these accounts that aren't even from America. You know, these companies make all these accounts, AI accounts, and they program it to respond quickly to controversial topics so that they can try to steer the conversation one way and make it feel like, oh, the overriding momentum is that, you know, people don't like the Bad Bunny halftime show. So I can promise you guys, I got over 2,700 comments. I would say I feel pretty strongly that at least 1,000 of them are not real people. They are bots. They are absolutely bots. I mean, some of them are just following the game. Like, y'all would not believe how many of the same tweets have been sent to me for the past 48 hours from like 500 accounts with the same goddamn language and everything. I'm like, good Lord, bots. If y'all gonna be bots, at least try to make it obvious that y'all not bots. Like, good Lord, have mercy. But they are on my ass about that, and this tweet has been spread far and wide. Now, I focus on the people who show me love from the tweet. There's a lot of people in that 2,700 people who are saying, Jonathan, you're right. We are going to fight hate with love. It was a good halftime show. Again, if you are one of those people who just say, you know, it wasn't my thing. You know, I'm not a big Bad Bunny fan. I didn't really find enjoyment out of it. That's fine. I'm not saying how dare you not like the show and that you're a racist if you don't like the show. I'm saying that you can clearly see how preconditioned that party is, that they had to say, oh, well, Donald Trump told us that we don't like it, so we got to not like it. That's just pathetic. That's a pathetic way to live. Like, I'm a Democrat, but I don't let any of the Democrats ever tell me how to live my life. I don't even claim to be a liberal, because there's some days that the liberals preach that I'm like, y'all going a little too far with what I feel like is right and wrong or whatever. I live my life. I enjoy the things I want. I ain't gonna let no political party tell me how I can live or what I can and can't do, what I can and can't like. It just blows my goddamn mind. And we got a ton of people out there that are so struck in and attached to the hip of whatever this man says that they feel, that's just crazy to me. That's just crazy to me. So either way, y'all, I am getting my ass torn up still on Twitter from all of these bots. This is definitely my most popular tweet of all time. And you know what? Even though I would love for one of my most popular tweets of all time to be like one of my contents or one of my skits or one of my Saints jokes or whatever, I'm actually proud of that. Because you know what? No matter what, I can always say I was on the right side of history. I was on the right side of history. Far be it for me to ever be a political platform. Now, I will say, if I get a great payout from this tweet, like if Twitter gives me like a $300 paycheck, I'm gonna be like, you know what, y'all gonna have to accept it. I'm about to pivot to becoming a political account. I'm waiting for that payout. I'm absolutely waiting to see how much money I made from this tweet. But you know, it's very ironic because I'm like, man, you know, I got a lot of new followers from this. You know, a lot of, you know, obviously like political heavy accounts that, you know, I guess are aligned with my account, my political thoughts, and I'm like, ooh, I feel bad for them. They better get ready to learn how to Shough them because, you know, like they see this tweet from me and they probably like, oh, this guy probably always tweets about, you know, politics and stuff like that. And then they're going to see a tweet about Tyler Shough, you know, the Saints. They're going to be like, what the hell's going on? Why am I following this guy again? But I'm not afraid to rattle a few cages. And I'm not condemning anybody. I'm not, you know, being vulgar to anybody who is a Republican or conservative or on the MAGA side. I disagree strongly, but I'm not the type to, you know, look down on people like that. I'm not the type that's going to use my platform to always get political, but I just felt like the fallout was absolutely asinine and I had to say something. And, you know, even if I lost a few followers from this, even if some people thought, oh man, I can't rock with Jono no more. I can't believe that he doesn't stand for this, that, and the third. Hey, I can go to sleep at night feeling like I was on the right side of history. So to those 2,700 plus bots that still responding to me, knock yourselves out. You ain't changing my mind, and you're damn sure ain't this shit more than the game certified. I mean, y'all, let me tell you how much reach that this goddamn post has. I even posted it on Instagram because y'all know how it is, right? Every time I go viral, next thing you know, I see like 5 people tagging me on saying, look, John, this aggregator account posted you. And I've, of course, seen my tweet get shared on a lot of different platforms after Sunday. So I said, well, hell with that. I'm going to post it on my Instagram, too. I ain't going to let these aggregator accounts take money out of my pocket when it's my content. So I posted it on Instagram. And even on Instagram, that thing is doing numbers. Like, as of right now, it has 356,000 views and over. Y'all, I do not get these numbers regularly on Instagram. I promise y'all. I was like, God damn, even on Instagram, this is causing some, you know, bit of a World War II in my comments. And it's a very different audience I have right now on my social media. Like, I got people, I've already checked out the conversation. I made my point. It is what it is. But I've got people going back and forth in my comments. And I'm like, good Lord have mercy. I wonder how long this is going to last. You know, given that I am not the type of account for these type of conversations to usually happen. But I'm not afraid to be a person, again, who rattles cages. And if that conversation needs to be had on my platform, then so be it. I'm happy to be where I stand 10 toes down on what I feel like should be the right thing in America. So that's just how I feel. I had to get that rant off. I'm about to get to some of y'all comments. But if y'all want to see some entertainment, boy, going viral, you get some crazy comments sometimes, and I got some crazy comments on my Instagram and on my Twitter. Over 2 million, and I guess what? Over 2,356,000 combined views on 2 platforms with this post. And a lot of comments, and a lot of people who found out or discovered Jono Barnes in a way that I never thought that Jono Barnes would be discovered. But hopefully, those people who stick around are ready to learn that this shit more than a game, buddy. Let me get to y'all comments about the Super Bowl. But first, let me hear a word from one of our sponsors. Here's a gift just for you for being a fan. Are you going to a sports game or a concert or any major event? Well, buy your tickets from SeatGeek and use the promo code JONO at checkout, and you can receive $20 off your purchase over $50. That's $20 off your purchase. What are you waiting for? You know this shit more than a game, man. All right, let's get to some of y'all comments. Slim Salt says, it was mostly in Bad Bunny's language. I understand what he was saying, but it is what it is. Slim Salt, look, I'm going to just be real. Look, we're gonna peel back the curtain a little bit. Us black people, we know a good vibe when we see it. I was in that thing, and I'm gonna show y'all right now. And I don't know any Bad Bunny songs, and I damn sure don't understand any of that Spanish he was speaking. I was in that motherfucker like, holy crap, man, we know a good vibe. We black people know a good vibe. All right, say everybody in the chat, y'all know a good vibe when y'all see it. We ain't got know the words, man. We heard a good beat. I saw them fine-ass Latino women. I was like, man, this is a hell of a show. Get out of here with that. Come on, conservatives. Y'all can enjoy this. Y'all ain't living life then. Not. Y'all ain't living a life that Jono Barnes wants to live. We know good vibes when we see it. We ain't got to know what the goddamn words will, Slim Salt. You already know. This reminds me of her says, I love you, Jono, and talk your shit, King. I understand. Jerry says, less politics and more sports. I don't know if he's talking about me right now or is he talking about in general, but that's just the way of the world, Jerry. I'm not going to, I ain't going to be every show where I do politics, but given the fact that the Super Bowl was boring as hell, this is the more pressing topic that I felt like we had to talk about, especially because, again, my phone is just continuing to buzz with people giving me, using my platform, I guess, to have the debate about it. Brute Saint says, I'm not a fan of that type of music, but that's it. Why do people make it more than a simple dislike for sound? Grifting. Oh, absolutely grifting. That's the key word. It's a huge grifting. And I feel bad for the middlemen, I guess, if you want to call them, that party, because the higher ups, they get the money and the recognition for these horrendous takes, if you ask me, while the middlemen have their whole lives affected because these higher ups on that party is telling them, you can't like this. How? No, y'all don't like this, okay? We're telling y'all not to like it. Like, I'm a strong Democrat. I think Barack Obama is probably going to be the greatest president of my lifetime. Barack Obama would have told me, you shouldn't be listening to Eminem. I would have said, Barack Obama, with all due respect, up yours. I don't let no political party determine how I live my life. I don't understand how these guys can let these people control their life so much. Then again, I let the Saints control my life, so maybe I'm a hypocrite. So everybody feels like you should keep politics out of sports. Now, here's what I also argue. I agree. You know, politics is politics. Politics is real life. Sports is supposed to be entertainment. But when it comes to important issues, again, y'all, this is probably the first time like what politics really intersected with sports that I'm like, I feel like I gotta say something. Or I'm not afraid to say something. I don't have to say something. I just feel like I want to say something. I'll tell you what, if I was doing content when the whole Colin Kaepernick kneeling thing happened, I would have spoke out. Like, there are times where I feel like politics and sports can intersect, and I'm going to use my platform to preach what I feel is right, because I always feel like, hey, whether you disagree with me or not, I'm talking about the champions, talking about in general, I feel like I'm on the right side of history. So there are going to be times, you know, that life ain't perfect. Life ain't always peachy dory. I know we use sports as an outlet of the real world issues, and I hope you guys use my show and my content as an escape. But there are times where it's unavoidable, and if there are times where I feel like, you know what, I got to say something, or I want to say something, I will say something, because there are times where sports and politics, unfortunately, do match. And I have a platform now, not a huge platform, but I have a platform nonetheless. I'm going to say something about it. Sonya leaves another. Oh, you guys are warming my heart today. You guys are warming my heart. She says, this is from Sonia, not Sandra, but Sonia. She says, for some reason, it's not working for her. This shit more than the game, y'all. I appreciate you, Sonia. I appreciate you very, very much. Puerto Rico is America. Hey, look, y'all, we got Archangel. Hey, y'all, something happened with the Falcons. All jokes aside, there's another series. We're having a lot of serious discussions tonight. I don't know if y'all saw the news about the Falcons player this past weekend, but we're going to talk about that too. And this is going to be a serious. I'm not going to Falcons going Falcon, none of that. No, this is going to be a serious discussion about what that Falcons player did. That it does affect the on-field product of the Atlanta Falcons, but it's definitely something that is way bigger than on-the-field stuff. So we're going to talk about that in our next segment as well. I'm always gonna stand on business. Y'all may not always agree with me, and I understand that. And again, I promise you, I'm on a platform. I am a content creator. I'm a person that I am happy to have respectful conversations. I'm never gonna be one of those forceful or radical. You better believe what I believe in, or if not, screw you. No, but I'm passionate about what I believe in, and y'all know why, right? The shit more than the game. Bruce says he thinks the music is generic as hell, but I agree. Music is about sound, not lyrics. You want lyrics? Get an audio book and sit down. See, I'm not the biggest Bad Bunny fan, Bruce Saint, but I don't know if I would call his music generic. I mean, I had a good, he was playing the music. I was like, this is a good little beat. Me and my wife was rocking to. I had Lil Jono, and I'm like, hey, Lil Jono, give me something I could just dance to, tap my feet to. I loved it. He ain't gonna be an artist that I stand for. Again, I'm shocked that a Bad Bunny tweet is my most popular tweet of all time, given that I got 0 Bad Bunny songs in my goddamn phone. But I will, if he is on the right side of history when it comes to some things, I will gladly be a Bad Bunny stan when it comes to that. I appreciate y'all, truly do. I appreciate y'all. The great thing about this being a very small audience compared to my Twitter audience and my Instagram audience, I guess now, is that we can have respectful conversations, even if some of us might disagree. Which I don't think none of y'all actually disagree with what I was saying. Y'all were just saying in general about how y'all try to avoid politics with sports. But there might be a day where if this audience does grow, it's going to be a different conversation, I guess, which I will welcome. But I appreciate that while I am a quote unquote micro influencer, I can have these type of discussions with y'all, or even rant. And, I don't have people saying, screw you and screw blah, blah, blah. I appreciate that. I really do. And Bruce saying he'll wrap it up with this, says, in 48 hours, everyone will forget about this because I agree. That's what I told my wife. I say, look, man, by Wednesday, and I don't know, at this point, maybe by Thursday, given that people are still going off on me, on my platforms. But by Thursday, I'm gonna be honest, Trump gonna tell them to get mad at something else, and they're gonna be like, okay, let's go to this account and get mad at this take. So it is what it is. But it was very interesting for the first time, to be in that war zone, I guess. So be like, oh wow, a Jono Barnes account is a political war zone. It's very rarely gonna happen. But when it does, I'm not afraid to rattle a cage because I feel like I am on the right side of history. And it kind of motivated me, y'all. I might start using my platforms, not for politics, but I was like, you know what? I might need to start blogging more. Just not only just using my platform for content and skits and Saints jokes and all that, but just, like my dad said, impact makers ain't afraid to rattle some cages. If I got some other controversial or just polarizing thoughts about certain topics, not about politics, I'm talking about in sports or whatever, I might need to might start blogging a little more. We'll see. I was in the season saying, okay, what can I do different? I don't want to go into each season doing the same type of stuff. I want to kind of grow and adapt, I guess, with my content. So we're gonna see what that Twitter payout was. If that Twitter payout is over $100, y'all might see a different type of content on the Jono Barnes channels. We will see. But I appreciate y'all. All right, enough of that. I'll go back and read all the comments after the show is over. But I appreciate y'all for having a very civil discussion when it comes to something as polarizing, which shouldn't be polarizing, but as polarizing as what the Bad Bunny halftime show was. Now, on to some really good stuff. The stuff that y'all are really here for, because I know I have a Saints dominant audience. Let's talk about what really deserves celebration. Let's talk about something that all parties, every party, should be able to agree on, should be able to celebrate, because we knew it was happening. It was the worst kept secret of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally official. We can say Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer. By the way, never mind Drew Brees, to start calling him Drew First Ballot Hall of Famer. How awesome was that, y'all? Damn, that felt good. Drew Brees does not realize how much he means to us, y'all. I still don't think he really can fully, I don't think any human is ever able to truly capture how much they mean to so many people. I definitely don't think Drew Brees realizes how much he means to the city of New Orleans, to the state of Louisiana. But Drew Brees is officially a Hall of Famer. And we want to, let's get the applause. We want to send our congratulations to Drew First Batted Brees for making the Hall of Fame. That was so awesome, man. That was our Super Bowl this year, y'all. That was our Super Bowl this year. Not only Drew Brees, let's give a congratulations to everybody in the 2026 Hall of Fame class. So to Drew Brees, to Roger Craig, how awesome was that? He's been waiting about 25 plus years to finally get that call. He finally got that call that he's a Hall of Famer. To Larry Fitzgerald, one of my favorite wide receivers of all time. To Luke Kuechly, hey man, mad respect. I can show some respect to NFC South opponents who deserve it. Luke Kuechly was a dog for the Carolina Panthers, and them battles that him and Drew Brees had, oh man, people joke about the NFC South now, but people don't realize back in the day the NFC South was a bloodbath. The NFC South was a bloodbath, and it was because of people like Luke Kuechly and Drew Brees. And of course, one of the greatest kickers of all time, Adam Vinatieri, the 2026 Hall of Fame class. I don't give a damn about what anybody says about, oh, it's going to have a dark cloud over there because Bill Belichick. Hey, that's on Bill Belichick and the Patriots and Boston fans. Here in New Orleans and Louisiana, we are celebrating the 2026 class for the Hall of Fame, and we are damn sure celebrating Drew First Batted Brees. And I think Bruce saying, I don't know if he put this in the comments. I hope I'm not spoiling his voicemail, but he is going to Canton. And Drew, he even says, well, I admit, when I saw Drew walk on the stage, I started to well up. This man is truly as legendary as you can get. And Bruce Saint is actually going to Canton to watch it. I still plan on going on Canton, Bruce Saint, but man, that goddamn France game, it's throwing me off. I'm like, how much can my wife's credit card take? You know, like I want to go to France. I really want to go to France. My wife actually, you know, we're going to have fun with it, you know, when it comes to the skit, but she wants to go to France too. She's like, well, how perfect is this? We can finally have like an actual honeymoon, go to France, and you get to watch your Saints. I'm like, hell yeah, that shit ain't gonna be cheap. And her credit card only has so much funds on it. So I'm trying to see if I can manage a Canton, Ohio trip and a Paris, France trip. If there is gonna have to be a sacrifice, it might have to be Canton, Ohio, but we'll see. I can do all things through my wife's credit card. So have faith in your boy. Have faith in your boy, because I definitely want to go to Canton, Ohio and watch Drew Brees get celebrated. I've always wanted to go to the Hall of Fame, period. And I always like, oh, well, the perfect time to go is when Drew Brees is in the Hall of Fame. So I'm really hoping that I can be there with you, Bruce Saint, and a lot of Saints fans in August, because I guarantee you that Canton, Ohio area is going to be black and gold all week long with Saints fans from all over the world coming to celebrate who we believe and we know is the greatest quarterback of all time, Drew Brees. And I'm so glad that he got his flowers. I'm so glad that in August, the whole world gets to celebrate what that man meant to the game of football, what that man meant to the New Orleans, Louisiana, what that man means to life, what that man means to life. One of the good guys in the world that I'm just so glad that Drew Brees, you know, no controversy over here. No, oh, I can't believe Drew Brees. There's some fans that were like getting on me before the announcement, because all week I was like, y'all know he's going, right? And they were like, come on, John, we, you know, the NFL loves to screw us. And we suddenly got Belichick got screwed. You're getting a little ahead of yourself. I was like, y'all, calm down. Drew Brees is a first ballot Hall of Famer. They are not going to screw over Drew Brees. I'm sorry. So I am so happy for Drew Brees. Bruce, you say that you welled up a little bit when Drew Brees was officially announced as a Hall of Famer. I think this was every Saints fan when Drew Brees was officially named 2026 Hall of Famer.
20 seasons, 13 Pro Bowls, and the second most passing yards, completions, and touchdowns in NFL history. One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, Hall of Famer Drew Brees. Put your hands together for Drew Brees. Royals, now immortal.
I'm getting teary-eyed just watching that again. This shit more than a game, man. Drew Brees is probably going to be the greatest quarterback of our lifetimes. I'm praying little Jono has a lot of life in him that, you know, maybe he gets to witness somebody greater than Drew. I mean, maybe we get to witness somebody greater than Drew Brees. I always say, like, hey, if we ever get to a spot where we are debating about if this Saints quarterback is better than Drew Brees, then we live the head of a sports life. But I would say the odds are us getting the top 5 quarterback of all time again are pretty low. I have my fingers crossed. I have my fingers crossed that we get to witness another one in our lifetimes, but the odds are probably that we're not going to witness another top 5 Hall of Famer quarterback wearing black and gold. So I'm just so grateful that all of us in this chat, you know, my family, all of us, I said this on the show, I think it was last week. I said, look, you know, we got one thing. I'm not even trying to troll Falcons fans, but like we got one thing that they don't have right now. We can go to our grave saying that we saw the Saints win the Super Bowl. No matter what happens, no matter, even though we got screwed in 2019, even though we had the most heartbreaking losses in 2017 and 2020, we can still go to our graves Whenever that is, hopefully it's a long time for all of us. And we say, you know what? We saw our Saints win the Super Bowl. Life wasn't too bad. That was because of Drew, first batted Brees. I am so happy that he is getting his flowers. The Know the Child podcast says, I was emotional when Drew walked across that stage. I am happy for him, his family, and us as Saints fans. He goes into the Hall of Fame. That's exactly what is the most important thing, the Know the Child podcast. When Drew goes into that Hall of Fame in August, it's going to feel like the city of New Orleans is going into that Hall of Fame with him. It's going to feel like the city of New Orleans is getting inducted into that Hall of Fame. Drew even said after he got inducted, and this man always has a good way of words. He says, New Orleans thinks that they needed me, but they don't realize how much I needed New Orleans. And that is why Drew Brees is always going to be this shit more than the game certified. Oh, man, I'm so glad that I got to witness Drew Brees in my lifetime. Bruce Saint says the 2026 class is stacked. I can't wait to hear all of the speeches. Sonia says she was also emotional. She says Drew Brees' Hall of Fame induction was our Super Bowl. Hurricane Michael says Drew is the GOAT. And I truly believe that, Bruce Saint. I truly believe, Peyton Manning physical-wise, Aaron Rodgers physical-wise, Patrick Mahomes physical-wise are better quarterbacks than Drew Brees. But when it comes to just everything, because quarterback is not just being the best physically, I feel like Drew Brees is right up there with them, like toe-to-toe. Now, Tom Brady is undoubtedly, in my opinion, the GOAT, given that he always found a way, and I can appreciate that. Tom Brady ain't a Falcon. Hell, Tom Brady broke the Falcon spirit. I can appreciate what he was able to accomplish. But I also truly believe, and I know I'm biased, but it is what it is. I truly believe Drew Brees can go toe-to-toe with the Dan Marinos, the Joe Montanas, the Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings. I truly believe Aaron Rodgers is the Patrick Mahomes. I think Drew Brees is on that level. And because he is wearing black and gold, he is always going to be my GOAT as well. Just like he is Jeremiah's GOAT. First batter, yep. Drew Brees is the truth. And yes, I saw the news. Drew Brees is going to be riding in boxes this Sunday. Man, that was a little, that kind of made me a little upset because I was like, I had my Sunday plan out. I'm going to see the Crew of Tote. Y'all know your boy loves the Crew of Tote. The Crew of Tote always shows the boy mad love on the parade route. But I was going to go see the Crew of Tote, and I was going to go home and chill. I was like, all right, I'm not trying to stay off of Bacchus. Now I'm like, damn, I feel like I got to go to Bacchus. Like, Drew Brees is riding in Bacchus again. Like, I want to see Drew Brees again. So now I'm like, oh, boy, I got to decide how I'm going to play out Sunday because it's a little harder to try to plan out your days when you got 8-month-old who's going through some serious sleep regression. So I'm like, can I make this work? Can I go see Tote and then go see Bacchus? Either way, I'm loved that Drew Brees is going to get celebrated this Sunday in New Orleans, and I really don't want to miss that. So I guess I got about 5 days to decide if I want to go see Drew Brees and Bacchus. And let's end it with this. Wait, hold on. Some size that I got. It ain't about finding my wife's credit card. Some sort of stuff that the funds, she has the funds for Paris, so she has the funds for Paris and Canton, Ohio. That's the dilemma I'm in. I'm gonna try, man. I'm gonna have to tell her. She gonna have to step her game up and work some overtime hours or something, man. Good Lord, she needs to start thinking about me more. Sandra says, "Congratulations, Drew. You are always beloved in the city and the Gulf Coast region. You are truly such deserving of this honor." And Bruce saying, let's end it with this, says, Brees could win up everybody in efficiency. He might not have been the most talented, but he made up for it with the organ between his ears and his dedication. And absolutely. And that's the type of quarterback that I think, just given how New Orleans is not the biggest market, and New Orleans is always a city that needs to be resilient, it was kind of fitting that Drew Brees was our GOAT, right? Drew Brees is the top 5 quarterback that we got to win it, all due respect. I mean, Peyton Manning would have made a lot of sense, right? Archie's son, Tom Brady, a 6th-round draft pick. I get all that. But something about Drew Brees' story, it just perfectly aligns with the city of New Orleans, especially after Hurricane Katrina. That's why it means so much more to us. That's why this shit more than the game. So I am so happy for Drew Brees. Congratulations to that 2026 Hall of Fame class. I hope to be in Canton. If not, I'm going to be locked in on the TV either way. Hopefully the Saints have the Hall of Fame game this year so that, it can really give incentivize Saints fans to go to Canton, Ohio and see Drew Brees get his flowers. But I am so happy. And I'll also say one thing. I'll be honest, selfishly, I know the Bill Belichick controversy and all that, and I think it's absolutely valid. Like, it's insane that Bill Belichick was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. But every time I see Bill Belichick in the news, if it ain't about the goddamn Hall of Fame, it's about his attention-seeking girlfriend, his 40 years younger girlfriend. And I'm like, you know what? If there was a year for Bill Belichick to get screwed, I'm glad it was the year that Drew Brees is going to the Hall of Fame. Because Lord knows I would have been annoyed on Drew Brees this weekend when he gets to the Hall of Fame. The headlines would have been, look what Jordan, what her name is? I don't know, Jordan something. Look what Bill Belichick's girlfriend is wearing. Look how she's trolling or whatever. Like, man, we ain't got time for that. This is Drew Brees this weekend. So I'm kind of selfishly glad that Bill Belichick got screwed. I'll say it. Like, I don't want to deal with him and his little attention-seeking girlfriend on Drew Brees this weekend. Now all the attention is going to be on Drew Brees. And even though Troy Aikman thinks there's going to be a black cloud over that Hall of Fame class, yeah, the only black thing that's going to be over that Hall of Fame class is the black and gold from the city of New Orleans and Louisiana. Because we are celebrating Drew Brees. Y'all know what Saints quarterback that we're not celebrating? Derek Carr. Because if y'all didn't see the news, it was reported on Super Bowl Sunday that an intriguing quarterback option to watch this offseason, as Derek Carr could unretire for the right situation and coaching staff per the NFL insiders. Wow. Is that kind of shocking or not that Derek Carr is considering a comeback? Let me know y'all thoughts about that. Here's what my initial thought was. I remember when Derek Carr retired, and we were all getting our jokes off. It was a great day on Twitter for me. But I also tweeted, I was like, you know what? Respect to Derek Carr for going out on his shield. Respect to Derek Carr for, bowing out gracefully and giving the Saints a good situation, I guess, to kind of help out cap space or whatever. And I was one of the rare fans, even though I was joking about it, I absolutely was getting my jokes off. But I was like, I'm going to give Derek Carr some credit and some love, too. He went out gracefully. And now it's starting to feel like, okay, was this all just like a 1-year vacation he took and that he just didn't want to be in New Orleans anymore and he just was always going to be the play like him? Okay, I'll retire and then I'll find another team to go to in 2026. Because if it is, I mean, that's just the type of disingenuous bullshit that the fans did not like about Derek Carr. And I've been one of the few who actually, I don't defend him strongly, but me and even Ziggy, we will be like, all right, Saints fans, like, calm down. Y'all hating on Derek Carr a little too much. But then I see shit like this, and I'm like, Derek Carr, sometimes you really play at the fact that you can come across as a disingenuous motherfucker. Like, what you mean you want to come back? You said your shoulder was done. So what changed from January 2026 to September 2025? I believe that this was a ploy. He wanted to leave the Saints, so he said, well, I'm just going to retire for a year. I mean, it helped us out. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It helped us get tired of Shough earliest chance to be our quarterback. It helped us save a lot of money on cap space. And now we can get a good draft pick out of it. I'm sure we could hopefully get at least a 4th-round draft pick if he does decide to come back. Some teams are going to give us a 4th-round draft pick at least. So, hey, good for the Saints. It really kind of changed the trajectory of our franchise. I'm not mad at that. I just feel like, man, I be trying to defend this dude sometimes, and I'm like, damn, he does come across as disingenuous sometimes. That's just how I felt when I saw the news. How do y'all feel about the fact that Derek Carr might come back next year? What compensation do you think the Saints should ask for? Should a team call and say, hey, we want to take Derek Carr off y'all hands? Truthfully, I think the Saints should at least call some teams bluff and say, start off with a 3rd-round pick. Now, I know, it's going to be hard to get a 3rd-round pick because Derek Carr took 1 year off and he technically has to show the injury. So, no team is going to be in a rush to try to throw a 3rd-round pick at us. But I would argue, just to start off, I'm not saying that we got to say 3rd-round pick or nothing, but you got to at least, start off high and then see where you can maybe be in the middle. If I'm making rumors, I'm like, hey, if y'all truly believe that Derek Carr can be that quarterback for y'all to get y'all over the hump, because I don't think it's going to be a team with the first pick. Like people saying, oh, maybe he goes reunite with Clint Kubiak in Las Vegas with the Raiders. I don't think Clint Kubiak is going. I think Clint Kubiak is going to get the star rookie Fernando Mendoza instead of saying, I'm going to kick the ties on Derek Carr. But I can see a team like the Minnesota Vikings saying, you know what? We made a mistake by letting Sam Darnold go. We have a win-ready team. Derek Carr can probably do a Sam Darnold type run for us. And if it is going to be a team like the Vikings that say, hey, we feel like Derek Carr can be that guy who can get us over the hump, why would you not at least start off saying, hey, well, give us a 3rd-round pick? Y'all think y'all a Super Bowl team with Derek Carr? Give us a 3rd-round pick. Y'all ain't going to care about that 3rd-round pick when y'all playing in the playoffs, an NFC Championship game or the AFC, whatever team he goes to. So start with a 3rd-round pick. Now, do I know that the teams are going to say, hell no, we ain't giving y'all a 3rd-round pick? Absolutely. So we get a 4th-round pick. If they say, okay, we'll meet you in the middle, we get a 4th-round pick. Hell, you take it. Okay, 4th-round pick. Derek Carr, God bless you. Go do what you got to do. But I would at least start if I was making rumors and say 3rd-round pick and try to call teams bluff. How do y'all feel about Derek Carr possibly coming back? And how do y'all feel about what the Saints should ask for when it comes to compensation? Should Derek Carr decide to come back? And I want to be fair to Derek Carr. He has not said anything about him coming back yet. This is all insiders. But it really feels like where there's smoke, there's fire with this, right? Because even the day he retired, people were saying, yeah, y'all keep your eye on Derek Carr. He's probably going to try to come back in 2026. So we'll see. I know I just cleared all those things about Derek Carr, but technically he has not said yet that I am coming back or I want to come back. But it feels like where there's smoke, there's fire. Jeremiah says, I can't stand Derek Carr at all. Let me go a little. Hurricane Mikey says, boo. Slim South says, I am not shocked he wanted out of New Orleans because we wanted him out. Bruce Saint says, I am not sure what his value would be, but it can't be significant. Well, what does you qualify as significant, Bruce Saint? Bruce Saint also says, I am sure there are a couple of teams that are desperate to get a broken down car. Better than nothing. Hurricane Mikey says the word retire means nothing anymore. Well, we said that with Michael Jordan like some 25 plus years ago. So, you know, when after they say they retire, did they really retire? Drew Brees did, but Slim says Derek Carr found out you cannot fake being phony in New Orleans. Jeremiah says he is hurt on the field so much. It's like it's sad and it's pitiful. Jeremiah also says, absolutely not. He is coming to our team, and next season, Jono Barnes just knock it off for real. The Daughter Chop says if he were Mickey Loomis, he would say a 4th or a 5th round pick at best. I feel like, I mean, the quarterback is the most valuable position in the league, right? So a team, whoever is taking Derek Carr, is gambling, which is fine. I know it's a gamble. I know it's a risk, but you got to at least give me a 4th round risk. Like, come on, this is the quarterback position. We're not giving you a running back. We're not giving you a cornerback. This is a quarterback. This is a quarterback that you at least feel like, hey, potentially can help your team out. So come on, man, at least give me a 4th round pick, a 5th round pick. I wouldn't be mad at. I don't know the market. Only Mickey Loomis is going to know the market, but I'm like, at least give me a 4th round pick at least. But I'm starting off saying, give me a 3rd round pick and seeing if any team wants to bite. Hurricane Mikey says a 1st round pick. And I know, Mike, yeah, in the perfect world, yes. I mean, I lived long enough to remember when Sam Bradford went for a 1st round pick in the trade. But nah, I don't think we're going to get a 1st round pick for a quarterback who technically has a bad shoulder. But if we could get a 4th round pick, that would probably be better. Pretty good that you run away with that. And Jeremiah says Titus Shough is better than Derek Carr. Look, again, even though I feel like it might be disingenuous if Derek Carr retirement was short-lived, it did help the Saints out. You know, it got us to move on quickly to the Titus Shough era. It helped our cap space out, and we might get a draft pick out of it. So, you know, in that regards, I would say thank you, Derek Carr. But I will look at him a little funny and say, man, did you really retire, or was this all just like a long-term ploy for you to get out of New Orleans and take a year off, heal up, and then go to a team because you in New Orleans was never really just that match that we hoped it would be? I don't know. We'll see. But if he does come back, hopefully, because we get a good draft pick out of it. All right, y'all, we are 1 hour into the Jono Barnes Show. We ain't even get to the voicemails yet. And again, I told y'all so much to talk about, Before we get to our next topic, let's at least set the mood off right. Do me one favor, y'all.
Hey, fans. Hit the subscribe button in 3 seconds to make this Falcons fan sad. 3, 2, 1.
Now, here's one thing that made Falcons fans sad this week. And I'm taking off my troll hat. I'm taking off my this shit more than the game energy because this is a very serious topic. Their 1st round pick, the one that they traded their 1st round pick to the Los Angeles Rams to, James Pearce, was arrested on Saturday on felony charges after he allegedly crashed his vehicle into one being driven by a WNBA player, Rakia Jackson, multiple times. And he struck a police officer with the vehicle while evading arrest, according to the complaint obtained by ESPN from the Miami-Dade County State Attorney's Office. He was released from prison on Sunday night after posting a $20,500 bond. If you deep into Google, you can find where the arrest video was actually had, where you see James Pearce actually firing off and evading police officers. And about 7 officers were finally able to get him down. Y'all know what country we live in. There was sources saying that that man is lucky to even be alive, given that you know how those type of situations can usually, what can happen from a situation like that. Few things. One, I understand fanaticism is a very emotional thing. We all suffer from it. I remember when the Alvin Kamara news came out about him and his crew beating up somebody in Las Vegas. And I'll transparently say one of my first thoughts was, not if the guy was okay. I was like, well, damn, this is going to affect the Saints season, right? This is how fans are wired. I absolutely understand that. I'm not trying to act like how dare the Falcons fans worry about the on-field aspect of it. But goddamn, boy, they had some tweets on Saturday night that was just like, look at yourself in the mirror. Like, I understand this shit more than the game. I understand we love our sports teams. But they had some Falcons fans, man, like not even giving or pretending to give a shit about WNBA player Rakia Jackson, the victim in this. They were just worried about, oh man, you know, how is this going to affect the Falcons? And oh no, he got to be innocent, right? Innocent until proven guilty. I mean, there's video. There's video of the guy evading the police. You know, come on, man. This man intentionally drove into his girlfriend's car. Not even his girlfriend. Excuse me. I'm sorry. His ex-girlfriend. They're not even together anymore. He intentionally drove into her car multiple times while she was in the car. He could have killed the woman. He could have killed the woman. And you guys are worried about, oh, man, how are we going to replace a sack production? Come on, man. At some point, you got to kind of separate fanaticism from real life. Give me a goddamn break. I'm not even going to do my jokes about, oh, boy, Falcons go Falcon. Huh? Y'all give a first-round draft pick for that, and then you only got one season. No, and that's some serious-ass charges. He could have killed the WNBA player. This man has some serious issues. Hell no, he should not be playing in 2026. He probably shouldn't be playing in the NFL at all anymore. Ever. I'm not saying his life should be thrown away or anything like that, but he should definitely face some repercussions. I'm not saying that he should never have a second chance at life, but good Lord have mercy, my guy. These are not some goddamn, misdemeanor crimes. This man tried to kill his ex-girlfriend. He was actually at the NFL Honors, the same NFL Honors that Drew Brees was at. James Pearce was at the NFL Honors because he was up for Defensive Rookie of the Year. That means he had to have flown from San Francisco, California, all the way to Miami to stalk his ex-girlfriend and try to run into her with his car. That is not some goddamn slap on the wrist goddamn charge. That is some serious shit. His career should probably be over. I am all for if he hopefully rehabs this goddamn shit, gets his mental health, all that good stuff, yada, yada, yada. But come on, Falcons fans. I'm not talking about the Falcons fans in the chat or anything like that. I'm just talking about the random ones I saw on Twitter. I even called a few out. I was like, y'all got to have some goddamn, y'all got to look in the mirror sometimes. Who's my favorite player right now on the Saints? I don't want to say it because I don't want to put any player in that type of position. If I had a favorite player on the Saints, let's call him Joe Schmo. And Joe Schmo did something like this. I promise you guys, as much of a fanatic as I am, y'all are not going to see me get on my platforms and say, oh, man, but how does this affect the Saints? I understand that's a legit conversation that you should have eventually, but I'm not going to be like, free Joe Schmidt. Joe Schmidt is innocent. No, these are some serious-ass charges. I had one Falcons fan tell me, you got to wait for the facts. We don't know how. One Falcons fan, because I had another tweet. I had a lot of tweets that went viral this week. I had one when I called out the goddamn stupid-ass Falcons account that was like, he said, out of respect for James Pearce, I'm not going to share his mugshot. Out of respect for James Pearce, have some respect for goddamn Rickea Jackson. And I had one Falcons fan comment, a random Falcons fan say, oh, man, you don't know you was in there. We don't know. This is exact words that he tweeted to me. We don't know how hard James Pearce rammed into Rickea Jackson's vehicle. We don't know how hard James Pearce intentionally hit Rickea Jackson's vehicle. I said, you got to be out your goddamn mind. I said, so if James Pearce hit your mama intentionally in the car, are you going to say, well, mama, how hard did James Pearce actually intentionally hit you? Get the fuck out of my face with that, man. God damn, fanaticism could be a disease sometimes. I get passionate about that shit, man. Come on, grow the fuck up. He's a grown-ass man. Mad because their star defensive end is not going to play for the Falcons probably for the rest of his life. Give me a goddamn break, man. This is not even to dunk on the Falcons fan base or anything like that. I was there for any fan base, including the Saints. Have some goddamn common sense and perspective sometimes, y'all. So James Pearce, I'm not writing your life off. I'm not saying, you have no, even chance at a second chance at life. But goddamn, you do deserve your repercussions, motherfucker. And if that repercussion includes never playing in the NFL again, so be it. You made your goddamn bed, you got to live in it. I mean, that was just horrible, man. Absolutely horrible. And I pray for Rickea Jackson and her family. Hopefully, I'm sure that was traumatic as hell. This 6'5", 250+ defensive lineman coming at you full speed in the vehicle because y'all broke up. Come on, man. That's just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. We'll get to the on-the-field part of it later on in the offseason about how the Falcons now have to try to find them the defensive end and all that. But in the moment, I'm just focusing on hopefully James Pearce gets his just due. I'm talking about when it comes to repercussions, and that Rickea Jackson can hopefully rebound from this after that traumatic incident I'm sure it was for her. So how do you guys feel about that? And shout out to Archangel and a lot of the Falcons fans because some of them hear me privately. And, I'm like, at least I got a pretty smart audience. And that's we started with a Bad Bunny discussion earlier. At least I have a pretty smart audience, and I have fans who at least have some goddamn common sense. Like Archangel. Archangel say, yeah, it's sad, and that is he's through. Archangel ain't coming on here saying, hold on, y'all, let's wait and see it. Y'all just trying to be sensitive. Archangel has the the courtesy to say, that was fucked up. That was fucked up. I don't give a damn if he plays for my team. He deserves some goddamn repercussions for that. Bruce Sain says, Kamara's my favorite center of all time, and I cannot defend what he did in Vegas. Of course, the James Pearce incident is much worse. Yeah, that's why I don't want to name any other, comparisons or anything like that, because I don't want to put any of these players on Jump Street. But I do understand that as fans, we have a habit of, oh man, damn, how is this going to affect my team's next season or whatnot? And at some point, Alvin Kamara being some random guy in Vegas. Yeah, I guess I can excuse us fans, including me, being like, come on, Kamara. Hopefully you want to get like 4 games and we can have a good season. But when a guy intentionally tries to ram his vehicle into his ex-girlfriend's vehicle, stalks her, and then evades the police, that ain't no regular crime, y'all. Hussein also says, it really sucks, man. It reminds me of Henry Ruggs. Yep, another sad career going too soon. Seeing players throw their careers away from the recklessness hurts the soul, knowing how fortunate they were before then. Slim South says, those are some serious charges to do. And actually, that was James Pearce's, that was the negative about him before the draft, is that a lot of teams were saying that they were not going to draft James Pearce because he had anger management issues. Well, he proved them right. Jeremiah, I understand. I'm not trying to like use this as a way to like dunk on Falcons fans or anything like that. There are some sad Falcons fans. I absolutely agree. And there are some pathetic Falcons fans. As every fan base, I guarantee if this was a Saints player, there was going to be some stupid ass Saints fans that had the same type of response that some of these Falcons fans had. I'm not trying to use this as a, hey, let's dunk on the Falcons fans or anything like that. I think this is a very sad story. And I think that the idiots who are trying to excuse it need to be called out. And I think James Pearce needs to take the heat. I absolutely think that James Pearce needs to take the heat. Archangel says Arthur Blank is not going for that shit, especially after Vic and all that. Archangel, if we do want to put the football spin on it, I'm not gonna say I feel bad for y'all, but I mean it is pretty crappy that you guys just kind of have this bad history of like star players, just doing some stupid things. Michael Vick, man, in the prime of his career, getting caught up in the dogfighting scandal. James Pearce now with these horrible allegations. I'm gonna say allegations, but I mean, there's video, y'all. There's video of what happened. Even y'all, Eugene Robinson, the night before the Super Bowl, went out, got drunk, got arrested. Then he got beat by John Elway in the Super Bowl, and y'all lost that game. It seems like y'all franchise sometimes it feels like there's the opposite of whatever a horseshoe is under y'all butts. I have the opposite of that. So hopefully justice is delivered to Vakia Jackson, and hopefully these Falcons fans, not the ones in the chat, not the ones who frequent the Jono Barnes Show, but hopefully the dumbasses who are putting their fandom before their human decency, wise the fuck up. Y'all say rise up. Y'all need to wise the fuck up. And I'll always use my platform again. I always try to be superiorly human. That's not a superior human to anybody. I act like I'm like some moral guy who everybody should follow. But I'll call out bullshit when I see it. Now that I have an audience, I'll definitely call out bullshit when I see it. So we'll see what happens with James Pearce, but I severely doubt that he is going to be playing for the Atlanta Falcons in 2026 and maybe even further down the road ever again. Because those are some serious charges. All right, this is going to be a weird transition, but Mardi Gras is coming up this week, y'all. So let's see. I'm sure everybody who's ever been in a Mardi Gras parade has at least seen one of these riders before in their lifetime. Hey, man, I know you two, me and your mom went to school together. Yo, the city showing the boy mad love. Hey, man, you doing Joseph been up just touching your phone all day. Yeah, mad love. Happy Mardi Gras, baby. Hey, chat, don't be a goddamn bean. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Hey, baby, is he looking at me? Tommy, what up, man? Hey, this is a family reunion or a Mardi Gras parade. Do I know from high school or something? Look, I know I owe some people some money, but not him. Y'all really gonna have a whole conversation during the middle of a parade? Come on, man, I know that ain't all you got. Y'all ain't even make it under the bridge yet. This motherfucker, why is diesel? Hey, man, I can borrow some of your beats? Hell no, man, I spent $1,000 on these things. That's cool. You talk really down, too. God damn. You gonna do something or what? Sir, I don't want no problems, I promise. I just wanted some beads. Hey, look, man, you throwing some snacks and candy. Is that tissue paper? What the hell you even got that on the floor? Now, why the hell is he throwing that for? Okay, he's throwing cereal, too. You gonna throw some milk with that? That a pregnancy test? Hey, Bill, you better not pick that up. It can't be legal to be able to do all this stuff. That's why it's just so funny that, you know, the Bad Bunny discourse and me just now with the J, like, you know, I'm never usually that serious when it comes to deep discussions, I guess, like this, but then you see that skit. So like, imagine again, like all these people who are following me because of my Bad Bunny take, you know, these, the Democrats and these liberals who are like, I like this Jono Barnes guy. He's on the right side of history. And then they go see a skit like that. I feel bad for them. But hopefully they are this shit more than the game certified. They don't unfollow me when they really see what my content is actually about. I cannot wait for Mardi Gras. Actually, y'all know who definitely cannot probably wait for Mardi Gras Tuesday, given that he's already got a taste of Mardi Gras? We'll find out in a little bit after our voicemail segment. And before we get to our voicemail segment, y'all, I want to give a special shout out. This is how awesome. Even though I have a small audience, how many people I got watching on YouTube right now? I got 26 people watching on YouTube. Okay, I have a very, very small YouTube audience. A very, very small YouTube audience. Yet, still, I just appreciate and I'm grateful for, I guess, the impact that my channels content have, because Twitter user bdip_14. I think that's because he's 14 years old. He DM'd me last week and he said, Jono, man, I had a class project. And I was like, ooh, a class project. This kid must be super young. Where we had to make an ad for something that we enjoy. And I made an ad for your show. I was like, wow. I say, first of all, I'm sure your teacher gonna be like, who in the hell is Jono Barnes? But two, I was like, well, let me see what the ad, let me see what ad you created for the Jono Barnes Show. So he sent me this ad that he made for the Jono Barnes Show. And I was like, how awesome, it's the little things in life, y'all. I was like, wow, there's this kid, and maybe I guess he's in 5th or 6th grade, going by his profile picture. He's very young. He is very young. And he used his class project to make an ad for the Jono Barnes Show. And so I'm going to utilize this ad whenever I can, because I thought that was really, really cool. You just never know, man. No matter how big or small your audience is, you just never know who you are impacting. So shout out to Twitter user bdip14 for using his class project to create an ad for the Jono Barnes Show. And as you guys see, man, what an ad, huh? I need to utilize this ad more on my social media. Maybe I'll go from 26 people watching on YouTube to 26,000 people watching on YouTube, because you cannot look at that ad and not say, oh boy, I got to check out what this Jono Barnes Show is all about. So shout out to bdip14. I love that shit, man. I absolutely love that. Again, you just never know who you are making an impact on. Speaking of impact, I don't know if you guys saw, I posted it on my my community tab, which hopefully you guys utilize. I'll have my bell notification on whenever I make a post. I try to use my community tab to announce when I'm going live, any relevant stuff that I feel like you guys might find interesting. I got a last minute request, I guess, today. Yeah, mom, it's as awesome as you, mom. It's as awesome as you. Y'all give you see Jerry always knows when Mama Gina's in the crowd. She knows about this shit more than a mom. Mom, if you're watching it on a mobile version, please switch over to the horizontal version. I'll tell you, the mobile version I do not like. I just do it to try to grow the audience, but you get the full experience on a horizontal mainstream. I have 2 line of streams now. I have the mobile version and I have the regular version. My mom like, John, just shut the hell up and keep doing your show. I got a last minute request today to be on WWL Radio. Now, if y'all from Louisiana, y'all know that WWL is the prominent talk news radio station in the city of New Orleans and arguably in the whole Gulf Coast region. So for me to be on WWL Radio today, I was like, wow, that is some cool shit. I was honored. I was absolutely honored. I was on WWL today with the legendary Mike Detillier. Let me tell y'all, I remember, I'm hopefully not aging Mike Detillier. I'm damn sure aging myself. I used to be in middle school when I really started getting into football more, when my wrestling love started dying down. I saw somebody asking the crowd in the chat, do I like WWE? Yes, I do like WWE. You see, Stone Cold is one of my goats. But when my wrestling love started to subside and my NFL and Saints love started to really grow, Mike Detillier was somebody that I would read regularly to get his thoughts and analysis on the Saints. And so what a full circle moment it was for me to be on WWL Radio today with the legendary Mike Detillier. And he has been absolutely, today was our first time interacting, and he was so complimentary of me. And I'm like, Mike, are you kidding me? Like, I'm standing on your shoulders. Like, you are a pillar of the media landscape in New Orleans. And it makes me grateful that we are in a world now where I guess I'm considered new wave of media. I always say I'm a renegade. People like me and my guy, Hold the Mayo. Congratulations to my guy, Hold the Mayo, by the way, too. He retired his Ray Beans and Rice Monday series this past Monday at 300 episodes. but we're like the new wave of media, right? And people like Mike Detillier or Garland Gillen, the traditional media people, they can easily say, man, who the hell are these guys? Like, how do they have an audience? Why is anybody platforming these guys? But they don't. They use their platform to kind of, seamlessly blend in someone like me from the new wave of media into the traditional wave of media. And that means the absolute world to me. I don't pretend to be an analyst. I always take great pride. I always tell you guys, I'm a fan. I'm a fan just like everybody else. So I don't know what they see from my crazy content that they go, oh, this is the guy that we want to talk football with. I'm assuming they see the tweets that, I tweet my serious thoughts sometimes and they're like, oh, this guy knows his stuff. He's not just a court jester of the Who Dat Nation. We can talk to them. But it shows, because I always look at the numbers. I'm Ziggy, the ghost of Ziggy right now is probably wagging his finger at me. Small YouTube audience, y'all. It's crazy to me because I got into the content game where YouTube was my main focus. I was like, hey, if Twitter and Instagram blow up, great. My focus is on making a huge YouTube audience. My YouTube audience is smart as hell. Y'all got 26 people watching. On the main show, at least. Let me see how many I got. I got 30 people watching altogether. That's smart as hell. That's smart as hell. And yet, I'm on WWL Radio. I'm on Fox 8. Stay tuned. I actually got some other channels hitting me up saying, hey, John, we want you to come on and talk some Saints with us. Like, that's crazy. My dad always say, I know I joke about this a lot, but my dad always says, bro, you can have one person watching. If you're passionate about it, keep doing it because you never know who that one person might be. That one person might be Oprah Winfrey. And I guess his word to guys is because, I have this small, like, you watch my show, 25 people watching my YouTube channel. I shouldn't be getting the WWL radio appearances. I shouldn't be on Fox 8. Yeah, here I am. But they got some channels with way bigger numbers than me, not getting these invites. So I appreciate the hell out of that. And it was just like, again, little Jono, not my baby little Jono, but I'm talking about when Big Jono was little Jono, he's looking probably up at Big Jono right now. He's looking at future Jono, or present Jono, as present Jono looks at past Jono. He's probably real proud of what present Jono is doing right now because you would have never, given how my career choice went and what I decided to do with my career, I never would have thought that I would be doing WWL segments with Mike Detillier, being on Fox 8 with Garland Gillen. And I got more in store for y'all. So I'm just like so grateful. So very, very grateful. So very, very grateful. I should have said this for the last segment because we got the goddamn voicemails. But y'all know I always get reflective at the end of the season when the show is coming to an end for a little bit before we get into the offseason edition of the Jono Barnes Show. But Mike Detillier, man, you are this shit more than a game certified. Now that Mike Detillier is in my call log, I would definitely have Mike Detillier come on my show, the legend that he is, to talk Saints football with us. And I'm just so grateful. And that's when all this shit always makes me grateful for you guys, y'all. Because I might only have 25 watching right now, but goddamn if I don't have 25 passionate people like Bruce saying, like Slim South, like Jerry, like Mikey, like Hurricane Mikey, like Jeremiah, like Archangel, Sandra, Sonia. The fish reminds me of her, all of y'all. Y'all keep tuning in. They can't help but not notice, right? They can't help but not notice. So I appreciate y'all. I see y'all showing me the congrats in the chat. I'll post a link to that interview probably tomorrow. But it was a great time. And then Mike said, hey, John, I want you to be a regular. I want you to be a guy who, we look to for Saints fan conversations and whatnot. And I always say, I am so proud to be a voice of the Who Dat Nation. Sorry, Who Dat Nation. Let's get to our voicemails. We're going to start off with a special voicemail because if you guys actually follow the Pelicans, y'all saw that we traded one of our most popular players this past week in Jose Alvarado to the New York Knicks. And that had our good friend of the show, the biggest bird, very, very emotional. So grab a drink, get some popcorn, and give the biggest bird 5 minutes of your time because he had a lot to say after the New Orleans Pelicans traded Jose Alvarado to the New York Knicks.
I don't know how to start this one. I'm kind of hurt, kind of angry, very frustrated, but I'm going to give this the best I can do. First off, I want to address the elephant in the room. Troy, Gale, Joe Dumars. I hate you. I've always hated you. I can't trust this leadership group. Sure, Jose just got traded. Sure, Jake always says, don't fall in love with role players. But here's the one thing about Jose. He makes an impact every time that man hits the court. Him and Herb are two guys I know are going to always give every single ounce of energy they have every single time they step on that court. And these are also two guys that have embraced this city, have embraced this team through all the losing, through all the frustration, through all the pain, through all the annoyance, through all the just, excuse my language, because I'm gonna start cussing, through all the bullshit, man. Fuck are you doing, Joe and Troy? The fuck are you doing? Do y'all even know how to run a damn competent basketball team? I mean, yeah, Joe, you won a fucking title in 2004. People born in 2004 are legally able to drink now. Are you kidding me? Why was he even hired to be the president of basketball operations anyway? Is it because he's from New Orleans? Oh my God, congratulations, I'm from fucking New Orleans. I can run the basketball team better than them too. Troy, you're having to go get every fucking player you signed, traded for anytime you were in the league and bring them to our team, and they're trash. The only one that deserves any credit is goddamn Sadiq Bey, who's coming off a fucking ACL injury. You brought Jordan Poole over, who can't hit the broadside of a barn. That man is shooting with his left hand. What the fuck? Like, I can't even take this team seriously anymore. You're alienating fans like me, who have a passion for this team, who want to see this team succeed, who will be through it, through every single bullshit moment, like right now. And you trade Jose for 2 second-round picks, and who the hell is Dalen Terry? I'm sorry, Dalen, if you're listening to this somehow. I don't even fucking know who you are. I don't know who you are. I wish I could say I'm at a loss for words, but you obviously hear my tone of voice. You hear the words I'm saying. I'm not at a loss for words. I'm just angry. I'm upset. This front office thinks we have a playoff basketball team? No coach is saving this. No roster move is saving this. Look, I've always been for, I think Zion is the guy. I've always been there. Now I'm getting close to being like, yeah, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to get off of him. Maybe it's time to move him away. Something's not working. Something is not working. This group of players is not working. So what are we doing? Why are we just sitting here and not making moves? Why are we saying, yeah, we're not going to trade anybody? You traded away our first-round draft pick unprotected for Derek Queen. Yes, Derek's been fine. He still has so much more to learn, to grow, to become better at. But you traded away our first-round pick unprotected. Has anybody watched any college basketball this season? I mean, I'll call myself out. I haven't. But I've seen the highlights of Darren Peterson, of AJ DeBansa, of Kim Boozer. They're fucking great. And we can't get one because you traded away and think we have a playoff team at 13 wins. I can't. I hated the 2 Mars higher originally. Now I hate it more. No, you're going to have to turn the volume down once you know I'm yelling. Once you play this on your show, you're going to have to turn that volume down. I don't know anymore. You traded away the fan base's favorite player. Collectively, amongst the fan base, there's not a fan. I would put money on it. There's not a fan that did not like Jose. If you did, sorry to bring it up, you're just racist. All right, that's all I'm going to talk about with that point. But, like, here's the thing about trading away Jose. You've seen the replacements. You know the line. Coach McGinty, heart. You got to have heart. You got to have heart to win games. And that's what you just got rid of. You got rid of the heart of this team. You got rid of the energy of this team. I don't know where you go from here. This is going to be a long one. It's been a long one already. It's going to continue to be a long one. But here we are. We are an hour and a half away from the trade deadline. It's for y'all to get a timestamp on where this rant is being taken place at and what time. Let's see what other moves they make, if any. Let's see where we go from here, because I feel like we're turning into the Kangs. The Kangs. We're not the Kings. The Kangs. The directionless, rudderless. We have no direction. No way of choosing where we're going to go. I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be in my nest. I'm still going to be in my roost. I'm still going to be the biggest bird. But I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm hurt. If y'all think I'm being dramatic, I don't care. This shit more than a game.
That is what I call being this shit more than a game certified. We don't talk too much Pelicans on here, but there's a reason why they call him the biggest bird, and that's because that man is very passionate about the Pelicans. I'm passionate about the Pelicans too. I just know that you guys, like even Jerry just said right there, aren't as passionate. So I'm like, okay, when the Saints season, I'll be very heavy on the Saints. But now that Saints season is over, I'm definitely going to put the spotlight on the Pelicans. And ironically, since he made that voicemail, the Pelicans have won 2 straight, and they're probably going to win a few more because we're starting to play a lot of teams who are purposely tanking. The Pelicans obviously don't have a reason to tank because we don't have a draft pick. So it's going to be kind of funny, like, oh, well, it was the Pelicans on a bit of a win streak. But I felt every bit of that in my soul as a former Pelicans employee and as a Pelicans fan myself. Just feels like we're in no man's land with this team a lot. And I'm not as emotional about trading Jose as he obviously was. But I do wonder about the direction of this team. And does the front office care about this team as much as they care about the Saints? I mean, I know for a fact. Hell no, they don't. It's like, well, I mean, just how much stock can you put in being a fan of the Pelicans when the higher ups don't seem to have as much stock as you feel like you have as a fan? So, biggest bird, I very much appreciate. That's the type of voicemails. Look, y'all, I love y'all. I love y'all so much. That's the type of voicemails I want for 2026 from all y'all. I appreciate all y'all voicemails when y'all come about the Saints, man. But y'all see, I mean, the numbers went up when that voicemail played. I guess people were like, whoa, what's this guy ranting about? That's the type of shit that we need on this shit more than a game show. That passion, that energy. You know, and if the Saints are good next year, the way we think the Saints are going to be good, I want that type of passion, all right? I want that type of energy. I want the biggest bird in all of y'all. So shout out to the biggest bird for that very, very emotional voicemail. Now, let's get to more about traditional voicemails. After Seattle Seahawks won Super Bowl 60, and our final voicemail of the 2025-2026 season, and our final voicemail hotline for a while. We're opening up the voicemails again later this offseason, but we're definitely going to take a break from voicemails after this week. So here are the final voicemails of the 2025-2026 season.
Yeah, Atlanta fan that is in the chat. Y'all have just been caught in the hypocrite eye because I remember, especially you, Juddy Bear, you were in the chat like a month or two ago and you said, how could you root for a team that did Bountygate? Well, I gotta ask you a question. How could you root for a team whose #1 draft pick nearly killed a woman? How can you root for a team whose star quarterback was killing dogs for fun? Tell me, I want to know. And if you sit there and say anything along the lines of, well, it's a mistake, it happens, it's not like you killed the person, then you have messed up standards. Look, we know this shit more than the game. But there's a difference from this shit being more than the game to people almost dying. He's lucky he wasn't killed. And I don't condone that behavior. But how are Atlanta fans going to justify that? And Juddy Bear, you said if you were a Saints fan doing Bountygate, you would not you would not be a Saints fan no more? Well, I better see you switch your freaking football team. I'm gonna put your feet to the freaking fire. You better switch your football team. I'm not saying you gotta become a Saints fan, but you better switch your team. I'm not playing either. I better see you switch your team because you're not gonna say all that. And look, I don't condone Bountygate either. I said Bountygate was a terrible thing, but you're not gonna sit there and say that you would not be a Saints fan because of Bountygate, but you're gonna but when it happens to Atlanta, you're just going to turn the other way, okay? And as for the Super Bowl, Seahawks won. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. I'm pretty sure a lot of people knew it was going to happen. Next season, here we come. But James Pearce, man. And look, I don't hate James Pearce.
Yeah, John.
Mikey got cut off. Mikey, you know what? I personally don't care about Bountygate. I appreciate that you even say that Bountygate was bad. I'm like, man, every team was doing bounties. Now, again, I'm not going to use the James Pearce thing to kind of one-up any Falcons fan, but I will say Mikey has a good point because Juddy Bear, and I'm not trying to put Juddy Bear, I don't want, this is a very serious topic, so like I'm not putting any Falcons fan, but Juddy Bear, and I think it was more trolling of Juddy Bear, like saying, how can y'all cheer for a Bountygate team and all that? So I'm pretty sure Juddy Bear has to stand and say he's like, yeah, no, what James Pearce did was messed up. But yeah, it's one thing about them tables, man, they always turn. Again, prayers though to Rakia Jackson and her family, and hopefully that they were able to get through this horrifying ordeal that James Pearce put them through. Mikey, I know that this shit more than the game is strong on you. I wasn't talking about you when I said I want more passion from the voicemail. So please don't, it's like that Bad Bunny tweet. If it doesn't concern you, you ain't got to worry about that. You're like, no, I know you ain't talking about me because I'm this shit more than the game certified. So I appreciate that. You, Mikey, left a voicemail every single week. And Mikey, I know you're a very passionate kid. I didn't even say kid, you're a grown-ass man now. It's so crazy. We're growing so old. Mikey's went from a little kid, now he's a grown-ass man in this shit more than the game community. But you ain't got to call every week, Mikey, because I'm turning the voicemail line off. I know you like to get your thoughts off even when I don't do the voicemail segments. I just don't want you to waste your time. Voicemail segment is officially closed, but you are one of the kings of the voicemails, Mike, and I appreciate you very, very much. Let's get to our next voicemail.
Pearce.
Yeah, John. Seahawks won a Super Bowl. Drake May's not the next Tom Brady. The NFL 2026 season is over. Five, this is Kyle speaking. Bye.
Gotta love Kyle. We appreciate you, Kyle. We'll see about Drake May, but I appreciate you, Kyle. You are this shit more than the game certified. Let's get to our next voicemail.
Well, here we are. Last voicemail of the fucking season, baby. So first off, Super Bowl was pretty much what I expected. I expected the Seahawks to blow out the Patriots, and they blew out the Patriots. I will say I didn't expect Jackson Smith and Jigba to get shut down by Christian Gonzalez, but shout out to Gonzalez, man. He played a hell of a game despite his team, or rather his offense not doing shit. But yeah, congratulations to the Seahawks. Big congrats to them, man. And congrats to Sam Darnold too. Man, what a fucking story, huh? Seahawks now have 2 Super Bowls, and now they're in a group with, I believe, maybe 8 other teams with 2 Super Bowls, if I'm not mistaken, something like that, somewhere around there. But congrats to them. Big congrats to them. Your boy has booked the tickets and everything for the Hall of Fame in Canton, baby. I'm going to see Drew Brees give a speech because, you have to. And we had to do it as soon as possible. Like, for all of the Saints fans out there who want to go out there and see Drew Brees' speech live, you might want to buy him as soon as possible because not often do you get to see an enshrinement of a first ballot Hall of Fame Saint, because this is literally the first time ever we've had a first ballot Hall of Fame Saint. So get your tickets quickly because I bet you it's going to be jam-packed with Saints fans out there. But either way, we already got them the seats, and I'm pretty excited to meet any Saints fans I come across. It might be people from the Jono Barnes community or maybe some other communities or just Saints fans in general. Hope to make some new friends over there. But either ways, enough of that. Thank y'all for another great entertaining season, Jono. And man, hopefully next year we get to see the first ever playoff edition of Jono Barnes whenever the Saints make it to the playoffs. Hopefully. I'm praying. Your boy's out.
I'm praying with you, Bruce Saint. From your prayers to God's ears, I would love to do a playoff show next year. Titus Shough, make it happen, please. Bruce Saint, you are probably the number one supporter of the Jono Barnes Show. You are this shit more than a game certified. I appreciate you, my guy. Hopefully you're still going to be around for the offseason, and I know you will be around for that 2026 season. So thank you, my guy. If I go to Canton, it is a must that we meet up. It's absolutely a must. Hopefully I can go to Canton, but I know if I can go, you are going to be holding it down for this shit more than the game community and the Who Dat Nation. So props to you, my guy. I appreciate you for everything you've done for Jono Barnes channel, Bruce Saint. Now, let us get to our final voicemail. Y'all know who it is. I'm going to miss him, actually. I know it's weird to say. At first, I used to be like, I don't know about this guy and this gimmick that he's doing, but he's become beloved in this shit more than the game community. He probably wastes his time. He probably should be doing the whole DeMayo show where he could get more love and recognition, but for whatever reason, he chooses little old Jono Barnes show to get his little funny voicemails off. And y'all know we love it. Y'all know there's only one way we can close out the 2025-2026 voicemail segment. Let's hear from our favorite.
This is James. James. No. I need everybody to sing it with me because this is the last time. So put your JJJs in the chat and everybody sing it with me right now. Here we go. This is James. James. Yeah. Another season has come. Another season has gone. And you all were a star audience to hear my batters like I was Jeffrey Osborne. Since you're shutting down the voicemail line, Jono, here are some final things I want to say as we head into another off-season. 1, I told y'all about that Super Bowl result. I'll try telling y'all like Ziggy. I told y'all if y'all put y'all money on with James, just James said, you have a lot more money in your bank account right now. Never doubt James, just James. 2, let me get my 2. Park on and get my hit 'em up style. It's still F. Evan, F. Sean, F. The Falcons as a staff organization and as a mother effing crew. And if you want to be down with the Rams or the Falcons or the Bucks or the Cowboys or the Panthers, then F you too. Archangel, Juddy Barrel, Pro P, Rant Swan, that one Falcons fan, come on, Slitter, Talented Mr. Ripley, all y'all. F y'all too, but especially F. James Pearce. He gives James's bad names. All jokes and fun aside, no man should ever put his hands on a woman like that. I would say send that man to jail, but he's already been in jail being an Atlanta Falcons player, so he needs to go straight to hell. 3, Kellen Moore, don't botch this offseason. You are in a good spot right now as a Saints coach where everybody loves you. Do not botch it. Y'all need to have a good offseason. You and Mickey Loomis, do not botch this offseason because the expectations are here now, and we want greatness next season. You too, Titus Shuck. I may be different than everybody else, but I don't know if I love Titus Shuck going on this media tour and doing all these things. I understand that he had a great end of the season, but the NFL is all about consistency, and we've seen sophomore slumps before. So Titus Shuck, you better keep that momentum going into 2026, or it's going to be pretty bad in these New Orleans streets. And believe me, James knows all about these New Orleans streets. And finally, Miss Barbara, you know I'll always love you. Now, James has to go now. And I gotta be honest with y'all, James isn't getting any younger, so it ain't no guarantee that I'll even be here for the 2026 season. So please heed these words from James. Falcons fans, y'all really should take heed to this. In life, if you fall 3 times, you get up 4. And if you fall 4 times, then stay your ass down, because obviously there's a reason why your ass keeps falling down. I'll miss you guys. Have a great off-season. Oh, wait, y'all thought I was done? Come on now. I gotta leave y'all one final song, especially after that trash-ass Super Bowl we all had to watch this past Sunday. So, DJ, please.
Why not?
And now, the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who knows. The record shows we took our blows, but Jono, and this shit more than a damn community, we did it our way. Yeah. Keep doing your thing, Jono. Always remember, y'all, this shit more than a game. And that's on James. Just James. Yeah. Yes, it was my way. Yeah.
I think I speak for everybody when I say we're going to miss you, James. Just James. We're going to miss you. Thanks to everybody who left a voicemail for the 2025-2026 season and a text message as well. I look forward to hearing from you guys again when we open back up the phone lines during the 2026 offseason.
No matter what, we all know that this shit more than a game, and now you can wear it with pride. Visit www.jonobarnes.com or thisshitmorethanagame.com and buy your This Shit More Than a Game shirt now for the low price of $28.03. We've got you covered here on the Jono Barnes Show. So visit www.jonobarnes.com or thisshitmorethanagame.com and buy your This Shit More Than a Game shirt now and let the world know, folks, this shit more than a game.
Lord have mercy. with like a Titus Shuck Saints team. We closed out this final season on a great, great, strong note. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Again, to the Know the Child podcast, Bruce saying Fish reminds me of how Sandra and Sonia, thank you guys for the super chats. The next episode, whenever it is, I'm going to get y'all names on that scoreboard. I've learned that it takes a long time, apparently, some nights for the scoreboard to update. But you guys will see your names on that scoreboard. I think it taught me that if I'm going to do the thing where I promise I'm going to put y'all names on the scoreboard, it will be the next week. So I know there's not a next week for the Jono Barnes Show anytime soon, but next time I do a show, y'all names will be on this shit more than the scoreboard. To everybody who's in New Orleans, I hope you guys have a hell of a Mardi Gras. Hopefully you guys have as great of a Mardi Gras as our star rookie quarterback, Titus Shuck, has been having so far, because talk about the opposite of Derek Carr. This man in a very short time frame has already done so much more to ingrain himself into the city of New Orleans than what Derek Carr could ever do. He rode in a crew of oh God, I don't even know why I tried to attempt to say that word. I don't know how to say the goddamn crew name. He rode in the Mardi Gras parade this past Saturday. And y'all can see he had himself ahead of a time. That man is already truly ingrained in the city of New Orleans. And look, Titus Shuck, fear not, it happens to the best of us. Mardi Gras happens to the absolute best of us. I absolutely love seeing Titus Shuck embrace the city of New Orleans the way he has embraced the city of New Orleans. Shout out to my guy, Eric McCoy, too. I told that boy McCoy, I texted him, I say, boy, I know a parade float hates to see you coming, because that man, Eric McCoy, is riding like every time I look up, he's riding another parade. Eric McCoy is also another guy who we all know is this shit more than the game certified. That man loves him some city of New Orleans. We love that. If you love New Orleans will love you back. Titus Shuck, the city of New Orleans, absolutely loves you. And man, what we also loved is our Super Bowl with Drew Brees being inducted to the Hall of Fame was that him and Titus Shuck was able to share the moment together when Titus Shuck was up for Rookie of the Year. Congratulations to Ty McMillan for winning it, but at least, it was pretty cool to see Titus Shuck being nominated, and he won the Pepsi Rookie of the Year award that is voted by the fans. So I'm now going to call Tyler Nathan Shuck the People's Champ. And as the New Orleans Saints tweeted this weekend, it was the photo that we all been waiting for. Drew Brees and Titus Shuck. Hopefully the present and hopefully the past. Hopefully some of that Drew Brees aura and Drew Brees specialty rubbed off on Titus Shuck at Super Bowl week. And I love this picture because, Titus Shuck clarified that he was on his way to the airport. That's why he was dressed so casual. But it kind of shows the character of these two guys. Like Titus Shuck, y'all, we've kind of, as we slowly starting to learn him, that he's a cool, chill guy, much more laid back, much less polished, as you can say, than with Drew Brees. Drew Brees was always kind of like that professional, 9-to-5 guy, puts his hard hat on every day at work. Titus Shuck is a little bit more chill, and I love it. Be who you are, embrace who you are, take comfort in, your persona and your character. I think Titus Shuck is going to be a great yin to what Drew Brees' yang was. And hopefully, man, y'all know what this offseason is. Like, we are all going to the offseason feeling like we have our quarterback of the future. I'm going to be extremely optimistic about the Saints this offseason. So anybody who always say for the past 2 years that, you're a negative Nancy, where you're going to get positive Pete this offseason from Jono Barnes, because I am going to be so optimistic about what the New Orleans Saints can do. And hopefully Mickey Loomis has a good offseason and that we can contend for the NFC South in 2026. Hopefully Titus Shuck is that guy for us that we all believe that he can be. He's already starting off the 2026 offseason on a great note. That man is truly already becoming a New Orleanian, and we absolutely love it the way I absolutely love each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys for giving me a strong finish to the 2025-2026 NFL season edition of the Jono Barnes Show. We're going to take a break now. Going to take a few weeks off. This is definitely our last show in February, unless something like crazy happens. Probably come back in the middle of March. I'm kind of aligning it when free agency begins. But we'll see. But definitely, we're definitely not next Tuesday, because I'm going to be in New Orleans. I'm going to be in New Orleans having a head of a time. I'm trying to be like Titus Shuck this weekend in New Orleans and for Mardi Gras. I'm trying to relive this again. So if you are going to be in New Orleans as well, hopefully you guys have a great and safe Mardi Gras. Thank you guys again for an incredible 2025-2026 season. I can't do the WWL interviews and the Fox 8 interviews without your guys' support. Again, shout out to my wife. The fact that I was able to come on Tuesday night from preseason all the way to the end of the Super Bowl every single night with a newborn, now a toddler, that's just borderline miracle. And it's all because of my great wife. And again, this show doesn't pay the bills. Every end of the NFL season, y'all know what I do. I kind of like reflect and I kind of go to the drawing board and I say, okay, what can I do differently? What can I do to try to grow the show? I'll be honest, the YouTube, I feel like for the past 2 years, it's kind of, again, still plateaued. I haven't seen much significant growth. Thankfully, I've seen tremendous growth on Twitter, as you guys can see, and Instagram. So I feel like I've kind of put more on my focus on that. But this show, again, doesn't pay the bills, but it's something that I'm extremely passionate about. It's more than a hobby. It's a fun show that I love doing. I love this very small niche community that I've built. As long as you guys rock with me for the foreseeable future, I will always rock with you. So even if the show is what it is, it's always going to be, in the off-season editions, 25 people watching at the most at a certain time. It's 25 people that I love to spend time with and have good conversations with. I'm always going to be passionate about this show, and hopefully you guys can see it. I don't play with y'all time. I put in a lot of work and effort for a show that probably does not deserve the effort that I put into giving the crowd, but you guys damn sure deserve it. You guys damn sure deserve it. So hopefully you guys see the effort and the love from me that I absolutely feel from you guys. I appreciate all of you guys. I'm not going to start naming names because I know I'm forgetting everybody, but all of you guys, I see you guys in the chat. I truly appreciate you guys. I truly love you, man. Shout out to my mom and dad because I know they be watching my show every damn week. And that's some good goddamn parenting, to watch their little son with his little 25 view, and I was at 19. 19 people watching on YouTube. But you know what those 19 people on YouTube do? You know what those 19 people on YouTube do? They can be on the goddamn WWL Radio show today. So this shit more than the game. And I hope you all have an incredible offseason. I'm not going all the way away. Again, I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Clearly, I'm on Twitter and Instagram. They still going off on your boy on Twitter and Instagram right now. So y'all can always follow me on that. I'm still going to be doing videos, but the Jono Barnes Show is taking a few weeks off. I'll be back in March, but for the short term, I'm about to go party my ass off on Mardi Gras. And y'all want to know why? Because this shit is more than a Tuesday. Have a happy Mardi Gras, y'all. And please know that each and every single one of you guys are this shit more than a game certified.
Juno.